Toys, 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 manly toys, 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 toys,
and TV and movies too. All right, everybody, welcome to the Toy Duo, where we come to you every Saturday and we talk about action figures and whatever else. Last week it was Taylor Swift and the way she completely changed the music industry. The week before that, we were fixing washing machines. No, I'm just kidding. We weren't doing any of that.
I have to go. I saw Dino in the chat. I can't be on a stream with Dino in the chat.
I must have be on a stream with him on Monday, right?
Yeah. We're interviewing a Star Wars actor.
That's pretty cool. So, anyways,
I'm wondering what he does because he stood in for Obi-Wan Kenobi.
This is what you got to look forward to, Dino. Every time you try to say something.
Yeah. I thought we weren't done about Monday, but okay. All right, go.
No.
Introduce everybody, Bird. 5 seconds in, it's already gone off the rails.
All right, anyways, we got Rick from Left Coast Graphics, who's been missing in action for a couple of weeks. You got Connor from Fuller's Figures, who has jumped in, stolen his daughter's PlayStation mic. Don't tell her about it. And we got John's Roughnecks down there, and he's going to continue his story about what's happening on Monday. Go ahead.
So Monday, on Dino's channel, on Geekstrong channel, Dino and I think Dan might be there, Dandy 1981, to help with the chat and stuff. And we've got a Star Wars actor who stood in for Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I'm curious what that means as a stand-in. Like, that's what I heard.
That when Kenobi wasn't there to do the filming, this guy stood in the spot where Kenobi would have been.
And I think he said that he did some of the lightsaber battles even. So
wow. So this guy's like a full-on stunt double.
So, it might be, you know. What'd you say?
Ewan McGregor's a wimp is what you're trying to say.
I guess so. And Ewan McGregor doesn't like to work because apparently anytime that he's not, you don't see his face, it's this other guy. So if he's from the side or walking away from the camera, it could very well be this other guy, not Ewan.
You know what happened, right? Like he was like, "Hey, I want Pedro Pascal's contract. Somebody else can be walking around doing all the acting for me. That's what I want."
I think Pedro makes the same amount of money as Ewan by this year too. I would think.
Yeah.
I probably never told you this, but I actually stood in a lot for Pedro Pascal as the Mandalorian.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. You wouldn't know because I had the helmet on. But try prove me wrong.
You can't.
But his name is
for you, John. When you're talking to this guy, ask him, prove it.
Yeah, there you go. His name is Warren Proulx. Proulx. How do you say Proulx?
Just like that. Proulx.
Sounds like Proulx.
Proulx, right?
I would think
Warren Proulx Jr. And he also played a Tusken Raider.
Wow.
We're gonna have to find out where. Was it the Mandalorian Tusken Raider, or was
in
he
the
way
original
back in
Star Wars movie?
Yeah,
he might have been the guy that went like this.
Yeah.
And they looped him over and over.
Yeah, it was just one.
Yeah.
That's cool. I wonder if that it sounds like a French name or possibly a French Canadian name.
Right? Oh, yeah. He could be Canadian. You're right.
Yeah.
But he's going to be at the New England Toy and Record Show, which Dino is going to that toy show, and that is how Dino met up with this guy because he got in touch with the guy who's doing the show, the show creator.
Your Honor, this sounds like hearsay to me.
And
sounds like stalking to me.
I know.
Yeah. So Dino was stalking the show creator, the guy who was putting on this.
He's knocking on the door every day.
Hey, and the guy finally broke down and said, "Yeah, I'm going to come on your show live, and I'm bringing this Star Wars actor with me." So both of them will be on the show actually talking to us.
Pretty cool.
Sounds awesome.
Let's say hi to some people in the chat. We got G-Force saying hello. We got Connor. He's doing double duty. He's in the chat and saying hello. There he is. Dino from Geek Strong is saying, "Hey, everybody." Oh, are we going to do? Or is everybody going to do that?
Oh, we got to give Dino the old muscles.
All right. Well, who got a cramp right now doing
He'll
that?
screenshot that. And
Sorry,
I
Chris.
actually got
I
a
can't use my arm tomorrow.
Yeah.
Paul Morales is here saying hello. We got David R saying hello. Let's see. Everybody saying hello to everybody. Let's see. Hold on. What's the image of Plastic Man on the thumbnail? Just wait for the hot or not section.
It looks good.
Let's listen to G4.
So does Dulcium. Did you see that new Dulcium action figure with the extendable he actually has the long legs for the long kick and the long.
No, did you throw that image up in the folder?
No, I just saw it today, so I did not throw it up.
Has anyone else
Alright.
ever thrown an
Yeah.
image in that folder?
John
I
threw a
think I
picture
did
of a
one-
potato in there once.
Once, yeah.
Was it cooked?
Yeah.
It was a really good potato.
Ricardo is saying hello to everybody.
Oh, was that the Akbar potato?
Yes,
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
the
yeah.
Akbar potato.
Jumpy
Good
saying
stuff.
hello. Let's see. Trying to see who else is here. John. Okay, nobody was talking about any of the stuff we were talking about. They're just saying hello to everybody.
Yeah.
And they gone. There you go.
Completely what we're talking about.
And
I
the
finished
dude.
watching the Aviation Apple show.
Oh yeah, that was good. Masters of the Air.
I really enjoyed that. Now, John, wasn't your grandpa like supposed to be in that season finale or something?
No. Yeah, so it turned out his character, they actually killed him off in the show.
Did they really?
Yeah,
but that's not laughing
You
at
got
that.
cut?
Every week I was watching and even looking in the credits to see if there's like certain
Yeah.
Airman Adams that walk by or something. I'm like, oh,
They do mention Lieutenant Steve Adams. I think they had a character walk on as it, and
Hold
then
on,
he got
John.
in a plane and he was shot down during one of those fights. So they were like, in the when they came back and said, "Who did we lose?" He goes, "We lost Lieutenant." And the guy sips a drink. He goes, "This is for Steve Adams."
okay.
Okay.
So it wasn't the guy that got yelled at for not having the supply room open.
No.
And
But
it
they couldn't
definitely
have
wasn't
that
one of the
Elvis
bad guys.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't the bad guy. Yeah,
All right.
That's awesome. I really enjoyed that show, and it
it's good. Yeah,
blows me away
Yeah,
every
it was
time
well
I
done.
see modern, makes on World War films, and then you just see the amount of planes and stuff they throw into that, and I can't even imagine. Like,
Right.
I'm a adult man, and I just can't even fathom that ever existed or could
that
ever.
kind of war. Yeah. That way, the way
Just
that
blows me away.
yeah.
Like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of those bombers at one time. Like, it's just,
And think about this for a minute. Think about like all the auto manufacturing and other factories in the United States that switched over to making war supplies.
yeah.
Like, can you imagine going down having one of your friends who works in a factory or something saying like, "Yeah, we've stopped all production," and going to
Well,
like
we want
Walmart
your
or whatever.
metal. We want your like toy wagons and your silver.
Yeah, that's right. They
to
make
we don't
more
have
stuff.
metal.
Yeah.
It's incredible. Like the stories. And
Yes,
stuff.
I can imagine it.
Vern was there.
Yeah, he was alive back then.
Well, maybe. You know what? We are running earlier this week in the UK and Europe, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we should have
haven't
twice for
switched
you.
So
over
this
to-
confuses me because we move our clocks, but then do you guys
They
have?
don't.
But England or London has some sort of British special time or something. What is that?
Greenwich. They do British summertime. They call it when they switch over the air, but everyone still calls it GMT, Greenwich Mean Time. But
Okay, so do you guys switch?
Yeah.
too?
we're normally Easter, that bank holiday weekend. I think
Okay.
that sort of weekend we would change over. So the States, for like the imperial system, the States have to be different and do it 2 weeks ahead of the rest of the
Sure.
world.
So Connor, you know what a centimeter is?
I do.
Okay, and like a gram and milliliters and stuff. I just
Well,
What's
so
a
do I.
centimeter? I know what a centimeter is.
in Europe, they still, when they weigh people like boxers or whatnot, they still do it in stones for some reason. Like things weigh stones, and I'm like, didn't they introduce
I
the
don't know,
metric
everybody. This might be a
system?
little bit of fake news.
Yeah,
No,
yeah. They use
funny
kilograms.
enough, for some reason when it comes, so it's pure metric system over here. Our SI units, System International, that some countries, one hasn't signed up to, but for some reason, when it comes to weighing the body, signing like a new baby or a box or something, they still use
Is that right?
stones
Okay.
and pounds. Yeah, yeah.
So if you had a scale at home, like if people still have scales at home where they go to the bathroom and weigh themselves, like would it say like you weigh 3.5 stones on a scale?
Okay, this is going to blow your
Or
mind,
do you have
right?
3 stones that you actually use that you balance?
Yeah.
The scale?
Yeah.
We have dual purpose scales, so you can switch it from kilos over to stones.
Ah.
Interesting.
Thanks for clearing that up. Go metric, everybody.
All right, I'm gonna pull this up again, throw us up at the top because I like it better. It doesn't cut anybody's faces off.
Is that a new thing?
Yeah, I made a.
Well,
new,
you can rearrange it. You can move them
Yeah,
if you have a certain level of
All right.
yeah, of notoriety.
You vernified it.
All right. So, anyways, this week coming up on March 20th, which I would consider the first day of spring, but I know a lot of people say it's the 21st. Star Wars is having an Imperial March, what they're gonna like march. No, I don't. They said they're gonna roll out a red carpet for Star Wars on March 20th at 11 a.m. Eastern, which is 7 a.m. here, which is 6 o'clock in the UK, in Europe, right? And they're going to kick off an Imperial celebration of your favorite Star Wars lines, including reveals from the Black Series and TVC and something else.
So we're going to get another Darth Vader.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. So John predicts we're going to get another Darth Vader
in both lines.
What do you predict, or what do you hope you would see for, say, the Black Series?
I'm predicting it's just announcing what some of the pipelines were already announced. I don't think we'll see anything.
Nothing new. Nothing new at all.
Groundbreaking or fresher.
Connor, have you watched too many past streams?
There's cases of figures, assortments for the vintage collection and the Black Series that come out in the next month or two with 2 or 3 figures in each that they have yet to like reveal or show us photos and pre-orders for. So those remaining figures over the next few weeks are what they'll show us. So I expect to see real photos and pre-order dates for maybe that Moff Gideon helmet, maybe Hammerhead in any line or scale. And there's a couple left in vintage collection that they pipelined. R2D2 and Leia are 2 of them, so maybe we'll see pictures and pre-orders for them.
Well, they're not Imperials. You've named nothing that's related to the
exactly.
That's just a word. They're not going to only release like Stormtroopers.
Oh, yes, they are. It's only going to be Imperials.
We will see some episode 1 to 3 stuff as well because they're.
Well, it'll probably be Darth Maul because Darth Maul's in the picture.
So we'll see some stuff when it comes to
a
celebrating.
Darth Vader and a Maul.
Yep.
Yeah. And what else? Do you think like we'll get any original trilogy?
I do actually hope that we get Hammerhead because that Doc Ondar's been out now for at least 6 months, right? A year.
And they pipelined Black Series Hammerhead at least 3 months ago now, so they've had time to like at least 3D print one and paint one.
Or to take the robe off the Doc Ondar and paint him.
Just paint him. Yeah, exactly.
That's all they need to do.
They'll probably give him a new vest or something.
Yeah.
And if they announced Hammerhead during the Imperial March stream, that just proves Hammerhead was one of the bad guys all along.
Oh, yeah,
yeah. Right before his big appearance coming up in the Bad Batch too, when he takes that helmet off. He's that
now that assassin. All right, that's not going to happen. What about vintage collection for all you big vintage collection collectors out there? What are we going to say?
Well, they've already shown a Vader.
Very far away from the vintage collection.
From the panel.
They already showed Vader and the Stormtrooper.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get something from Ahsoka, like more, like Enoch. But they are doing Enoch in that 4-pack, aren't they?
Right.
Yeah, we might see Enoch.
They'll have to do an individual version, right?
See, I just wondered if we'd get a carded version of Enoch, but maybe we won't. Maybe we won't if he's in that.
They'll definitely re-release him on a card.
I do like that multi-pack with the 4 troopers. I don't like one of them being Enoch though. I think that's on purpose, but a mistake. Like make him available on his own, and make people buy a 4-pack of the clone troopers You will
Exactly.
you will get more sales if anything.
Yeah.
I
Because
don't
why
think
would you buy 2 boxes now? You're going to end up with
Well,
2 Enochs.
People will buy multiple boxes.
Well, people
but-
will buy that box because they want to have the thriller characters.
Yeah, but
Well,
people want to
yeah,
buy
but-
4 of those boxes or 5.
Exactly.
Of
They
them.
would have want 4.
But they don't need 4 Enochs. Like spending
Yeah.
$100.
Like the other Trooper packs didn't have a specific guy like Enoch that was only one of a kind, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
I
had
get it.
commanders, but they were still troop builders.
Yeah,
Generic commanders, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
I get it. It just seems like, well, chances are they're going to release Enoch on a fancy card back for the vintage.
I would hope so.
I'm,
Yeah.
I'm sure that he gets his own card. I mean, he was such a major character in Ahsoka.
He wasn't a major character. He was
Such
just
a good
cool
story
character.
arc. It was brilliant the way they just
Yeah, he
brought
has
his
this great
character
He was
all
dialogue.
the way
excellent.
along through the show. And we
I
saw
was hoping he
development.
would get more like. I'm guessing that next season we're going to delve into that character probably more. I'm
And he had
hoping.
such a cool speeder bike too, didn't he?
I don't know. Did he have a speeder?
I don't know.
Did
Did
he have
even
a
have
speeder?
line?
No,
I don't know.
I don't think he actually went anywhere.
And
He
his
didn't
ship
walk
Do you
out.
think-
was the bomb.
Do you think that in TVC we're going to get Balin and Hattie
Oh, that would be a good guess.
and those little
Chill.
and those things that they rode, those little dragon
Little wolves.
monster wolf horse?
Oh,
things?
those
I
would be
think
cool. Those little.
They'll
wolves would be
eventually
cool.
get into vintage collection, and I don't know if they're Imperial March worthy though. But
Yeah, are they?
I don't
And
think.
then,
You think every single item they release will be Imperial March worthy?
I thought so, but I don't know. Maybe not. You know.
Well, if you look at the stuff, because they had their first week the other day, and you look at the stuff they had, Baby Yoda backpacks and Mandalorian cereal, or they had other product, so
Yeah.
it wasn't just Darth Vader things.
They're
I don't
doing
know.
some
Amidala
new.
backpacks.
I just get worried every time they make like an announcement that they're going to have like some sort of a stream or a video that at this point I'm like not even interested in tuning in. I'm just going to wait for later and then find out that they didn't announce anything. And or you know what they could do in Kenobi, right? The series, there was one dude who was in the back of the bar and I think they're going to make
Hammerhead.
an action figure of him. And I think he had a land speeder that we never saw in the show. That may be the new vehicle that they're going to announce.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about the pilot? We need the pilot for that guy. They told us he was coming, but they didn't show a
Yeah.
picture, right?
Yeah. So they
For
could
that
Ewing?
have that for that.
the viewing, the
yeah.
Ewing thing.
The Ewing.
So we can get that. So before we do some of these other slides, who watched The Bad Batch? I've been
I
watching.
just finished it. Yeah.
Who was
I've
able
watched
to
it.
see anything that happened in the latest episode?
It was all black. It was so dark.
I mean,
I saw the light. I saw the
He had a
light on
little
the side of the
green thing on
guy's
dude's
head,
helmet. I was like, "What the heck?"
and there was a couple explosions and laser bolts. And I had
Hammerhead.
no idea.
I felt
No
like I was
idea who
watching
they were
that Zero
shooting
Dark
at.
30 again, going like, "Come on, I gotta see something."
You have to turn your TV's brightness all the way up to the max so it
And then
burns
you're
out
still
while
not
you're
seeing
watching
anything.
The theories I'm seeing on the YouTube land are some people think it's Commander Cody because no one knows what happened to him, right? And he's a clone. And some people think it's a clone of Crosshair, and that's why he's kind of equal in the fighting and whatever. Good, he's a good sniper. But that
He
one I
died.
don't understand because how do they clone an adult clone and then he's an adult right away? Like they don't do that part in Star Wars. Just
No, I think
instant adult photocopies.
That
They
guy
have to
could-
grow them. So
I
I
don't-
don't think it's that. I think it's
Yeah, I
Hammerhead.
don't think that guy was a clone at all. I think he was just highly trained.
No,
Oh,
he
they're
was-
all- they're
they said
clones,
he was
for
a
sure.
clone,
Oh,
but he was.
He was.
But they said that he had undergone some special modifications in the
Okay, I
lab or
missed
whatever. Yeah,
To like erase your brain or something else. But
yeah.
it's a
But
cool
he's a new
character.
generation of clones.
I'm enjoying this final season of the Bad Batch. I thought it has been decent. It's been better than the others where there has been those kind of boring little storylines where they go, let's go do this planet and whatever. But it's following a story. Like there is going to be some cool revelations, I think, in regards to what happens to all the clones. That's one major thing, and I guess that's the only thing at this point that I care about in the whole Bad Batch series is what happens to the clones and Omega, because right? She's obviously an important character to some point. I think the show revolves around her. She's the main character.
Well, you'll have to know what happens because, I mean, we never hear from these people again.
Well, they'll either kill her or not kill her at the end of it. That's
Her M count is pretty high.
so she'll either be dead, and that it'll be a very sad, whatever, 6 seasons of Bad Batch when it concludes to all of them dying somehow, but
Right.
or she'll survive, and maybe she'll pop up in a live action show that's set, there's 20 years later or whatever it is now in the Mandoverse, or 40 or however many years later it is now in the Rayverse, right? Like in that timeline, like could it be a 50-year-old Omega running around? Like,
Could be.
Or
Sorry, I
did
just
you
got
not
sick
make
in my mouth.
All right. So Gary Sprales jumped in and went to say hi to him, and then Chip is here. But let's do this. I'm going to pop this back up, and then I pulled this up. Who's super excited for Kevin Costner's new cowboy epic western that's going to come in 2 parts that are going to be 7 hours long each, called Horizon, an American western saga that will last forever.
30 years in the making. They started making it 30 years ago?
Yeah, because he first did his Dances with Wolves was 30 years ago. Was that the first time he ever rode a horse?
and that's the only movie I've ever walked out of in a movie theater like 10 minutes in.
So he's going to claim that was training for this movie.
Yeah,
that's
I don't know. Like,
That's how they
started writing
technically.
it or something.
That's
like
how they
He's rehearsing
technically
Youth
started
Begun.
making it 30 years ago.
So,
I see.
so I did watch the trailer a couple of times, and I'm like, okay, so it's going to be like
that's
a
right, Gene.
western that's going to cover like a long period of time. But I still kind of almost didn't know what it's about.
I'm not interested. Like, there's better cowboy shows out there.
He should have just stuck with Yellowstone.
If it's not the same quality and story writing as like that Masters of the Air or another cool good modern show, then I have zero interest in it. Like there is better programming on
Yeah,
TV.
but I'm sure it's going to look fantastic. It's going to be
I'll
very
take a
cinematic.
look at it. If I start falling
Well,
asleep, I won't finish
The,
it.
pro-
I mean,
the problem is
definitely
like
try it.
having to go to the theater and watch it in 2 parts is going to bother me, right? Like especially if each part is like 3 hours.
Oh, it's not like for
oh,
TV.
I thought it was
No,
a
it's
stream.
not
It's a,
show.
Oh,
if it's a
TV.
7-hour thing, I thought it was a.
It's 2 movies is what it is.
Oh, okay.
And I'm thinking
then
like,
it'll fail miserably if it goes to
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
this is not to me on the same level. To say 30 years in the making is not the same level as like Eastwood when he did Unforgiven. Now I totally get that Unforgiven is like a project that he wanted to do, but he sat on it because he wanted to age. You know what I mean?
Mm.
But I mean, if this was 30, this is going to be like 30 years or many years of this guy's life. He should have been filming it, every year filming stuff for this movie.
Not yet, Jumpy.
What?
I'm just commenting on
Didn't end.
Jumpy's comment.
My mother, my mom was talking about this. She said, "Why, when sorry, I have to turn this fan."
But he has the
Why-
same mustache he had in Wyatt Earp, by the way.
Whoa.
I'm not
Like
a Costner hater.
why
I
when
do like him, but
when Brandon Lee was accidentally shot while filming, the guy who shot him sorry, that was an accident, and he went on his merry way. When now, if someone accidentally gets shot on set, they charge them with manslaughter.
This isn't
Well,
Rust.
that's
This
different. The
is
Brandon Lee was
called
like
Horizon.
because of the curse of the dragon, right? Like
Okay, hold on. Let me do these next couple of slides. I'm gonna then dump them out of the screen. We'll have a whole conversation about that, John, because I think it's very interesting. Hold on. So the next one is: has anybody watched the trailer for Atlas, the new Jennifer Lopez Netflix movie that's going to be coming out pretty soon?
No, I didn't
no,
even
no,
know
no.
this was coming. Is this
Yeah,
science
so-
fiction?
Yeah.
kind
So,
I've never heard of seen this.
so it's
Yeah.
supposedly
Good
AI
marketing,
taking
Netflix.
over and destroying humanity, and she has to save the world.
Is Ben Affleck in it?
I don't think so, but you know who's in it is
Jennifer Lopez.
Simu, the guy who played Shang-Chi. I think he's going to be like an AI killing machine or something like that.
Oh,
Oh, Killing
So-
Machine.
The trailer looked pretty cool if you like sci-fi. It kind of reminded me of that Tom Cruise movie where he relived the same day.
well, let's play the
Edge
trailer
to
and get demonetized and have our thing shut off.
Yeah, no, I won't be
It
doing
doesn't
that.
demonetize.
All right, and then how about City Hunter? I wanted to.
That happened. This happened to me once.
Yeah. So City Hunters
same
coming
guy?
out too. This is
Yeah.
based on a manga,
Manga,
or
yeah,
Japanese
yeah.
anime or whatever. So I watched the trailer, man. It looks really cool.
It's
a
going to be over the top.
Yeah, a throwback a little bit to like John Woo films in a way where like it's very stylistic, the fights and stuff like that. I thought it was pretty cool. So I wanted to throw those in there. Let me take that down because John wants to have a conversation about why Brandon, the guy who shot Brandon Lee, wasn't charged and why there are charges in this other case. So I have an opinion, or I have my thoughts based on what I heard, and I'll just say it and you can tell me. Are you really serious, John, about this?
Well, I'm like, I know next to nothing about either case, so I really don't know if I should even be saying. But the question came up today.
Okay,
I was
so
like, I don't know. I have no idea.
This could be. So get your counterpoints ready. This is your controversial topic. Point or counterpoint. Why was there a difference? Okay. One, when Brandon Lee was shot, he was shot with an actual piece of the blank ammunition that was actually loaded. So it was supposed to be a safe round that was loaded into the gun, and a piece of it came out and killed him. It wasn't a real bullet.
Oh,
In this other movie, Rust, the armorer supposedly brought live ammo onto the set and was not very careful in you're making sure that the guns weren't actually loaded with actual ammunition. So
Yeah, I blame the armorer, the
Kind
actor,
of
like
and
Derelict
the
in her
director
duty.
who died. I
Okay,
blame
so-
all three of them.
So the reason why Baldwin supposedly on being charged is because he's like the producer who allowed this kind of like lax system
It's-
on set.
yeah.
So
Gotcha.
So a health and safety issue as opposed
yeah,
to
so he didn't put his foot down, basically. Let's see what people have to say. So who's got the counterpoint? Counterpoint.
Well, there's three things that happen, right? One thing is that you said the armor or the gun was somehow misloaded or loaded in some way, shape, or form on set. The other parts are the actor, or sorry, the lady directing. I think that's who got shot, right? She said, "Pointed at me," like pointed at me right
Yes.
here by the camera. And he's like, pointed at me, and then she directed him. Okay, now
Did he
pull
go
the trigger.
like he didn't want to?
Well, these are the stories that I've
Okay.
heard on this. Like, so yeah, the bad thing happened, but another thing was someone directed him to do that, and he did it. Like, you never point, even if you know it's fake or Lego, you never point it at a person or anything. So all three of those things, those rules, if you want to call them rules, were kind of broken, and a tragic thing happened. Like,
Yeah, very
it
tragic.
actually happened.
get
It
that.
actually had a bullet and it fired and it killed someone. And
So
it's like,
the difference
all
is,
the things that you should do wrong or you shouldn't do wrong were done wrong.
yeah.
And
So the
it
difference
ended
is
tragically.
one was truly an accident, where the other one was negligence. In a sense.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And
Sure.
there's no place in this day and age for such a thing to happen, because we all should have learned from the Goonies when someone mixed the candles with the dynamite. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, do you remember that?
you should know better.
Do you remember this show? That's so funny.
Like, sure, there's dangers
There was-
involved in any kind of film or TV making, even if
Yeah.
you're just one of the main pretty actors or whatever. Like,
Look-
not that you're doing all your stunts, but something could go wrong, and like that van beside you could blow up. You know,
I
the
mean,
one
like if you go
running all
back,
the lights and cameras, have all the batteries in it. Like,
if you
things
go
can
back,
happen, right?
yeah, if you go back to what Spartacus or whatever, there was the scene where the guy's like on the little chariot, and there's that chariot race or whatever. There was a
Yeah, that was
stuntman who
real.
actually died.
Yeah, that was real.
Like,
There's no
That real.
CGI
And the
horses
family
back then.
said, the family was like, leave it in because that's his greatest stunt. So it's actually, if you watch the movie, you see the guy get run over by the chariot or whatever, and he really died. And
Crazy.
then
Wow.
like I was watching, there was this movie called Wind, and it was about the America's Cups or whatever. And during the filming of that down in like Australia or whatever, one of the guys on the boat lost his arm. And it was like, yeah, I mean, these things just happen, you know.
Hmm.
And then remember that show in the 80s, The Cover Up, there was like a
What's up?
guy who was playing Russian roulette with the fake gun, and he
What's that?
killed
Sorry.
himself with the blank because the wad went into his head or whatever.
Oh.
okay.
Because the explosive has to be packed. You know what I mean? To make that realistic sound. But like shows like The Rookie, they announced that they weren't going to use those types of guns anymore. All their bullet effects are being put in now with effects after the filming. Everybody basically has a rubber gun on that show. That's what they said.
It's been a big part of the industry for a long time. Like I've seen some of these rubber gun props, and you wouldn't know the difference unless you're sitting there going like this with it to show it, do a little wobble or whatever, right? Or you actually bang it in someone's head and you watch it in slow motion as it bends. So, but they're that good.
Look at what Jonathan's saying.
There's fake guns made of metal that are also that.
They're really good. The crew of the Rust movie walked off the set for unsafe working conditions the day before. Baldwin got non-union people to continue the movie the day of the shooting. Right, that's what he's saying. My brother's here. He says, "Where's my beard?" And he knows that I can't grow one. That's why he's saying.
I think that you need to buy Vern a fake beard so he could fit in.
Vern's got one.
I have this.
There you go. There you go. Yep.
Yeah, I think even in Canada, where a lot of filming is done now, like there's no chance of like a real gun being on set because we don't have real guns. Like it's not a thing, right? It's hard to accidentally get a real gun on a movie set in Canada.
There we go. There we go.
Is that better, guys? All right.
Just for your brother. Just for your brother. There you go.
Is that what you wear when making a withdrawal? Is it?
Welcome to the Four Beards.
If you walked into a bank wearing that, I bet they would immediately tackle you. Like all the cops.
I don't know what's weird is like remember like we went through the pandemic and stuff. That was the one time you could walk into a bank with like a toque and
a mask and like this like thing on. So you're like just your eyes. And you're like
it actually says at my bank. Because I was there a couple times last week. No hats, no sunglasses, no masks. Like so.
Yeah. I thought of that exact thing when I was walking around places. I'd see people like in the mall or somewhere else, and they were just totally covered up and like with all this, and all you saw was their eyes. And I'm like, you couldn't do that a couple years ago.
It still happens here. There's a lot of people stealing whatever frozen meat and makeup from Walmart and Legos or whatever, and they'll and you see them. They're like 30-year-old men, that kind of look homeless, walking into the Walmart wearing a mask. So, this is the only part showing in their face. They're in there just to thief the place.
Oh, cat.
Hi, cat.
Thief the place? I've never heard that expression.
It's pretty bad, man. You kind of go see it every time you go there now.
So you're not allowed to show like weapons and stuff like that in a live stream, right? So I couldn't show you my replica,
not really,
or anything like that. Okay.
No,
and especially not if it's not pointing at the screen.
Oh,
pre-recorded if you want to show those things. You can totally do it, but it has to be pre-recorded.
Yeah, all right.
There is a certain angle that you can show guns from, because my brother used to watch gun guys that collect guns and show you how to fire them and use them. And they have YouTube channels
live, and we won't get shut down. It's just they'll just remove it later, right?
No, they could shut it down. You could turn around and then point it at your own head and off yourself.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there are zero chance of that.
There's full-on YouTube channels that show you how to properly shoot guns. My brother used to watch them.
Yeah, but I think that they live people and robots watching right now.
They set them at certain angles.
See someone like this.
It'll kill it. But what I mean is I think they said that. I think he told me once that they were saying on their videos that you have to shoot from a certain angle. Like the gun has to be at an angle that's angled away from the screen, and it can't ever be like this. You know what I mean? It has to be like on a table at an angle. You know what I mean? Yes. So there's certain rules you have to follow with how you shoot the video in order to get it allowable and be monetized and everything.
That's just bizarre. That TikTok, they have these guys that go into the store and then they throw a box on your head or whatever. If anybody ever does that to me, I'm going to have them arrested.
You guys are about to lose TikTok in America.
Good.
So here's something I was wondering. So speaking of like the weird people with masks, so we were in the bank like a little while ago, and we were waiting for a teller. Like we had to go to one of those desks because we had to fix something with one of the accounts that was related to my brother, and so we're waiting, and I see this lady come in, and she's got a wheelie thing that you push babies in. Stroller. stroller. And she goes, I need to use the bathroom. And she goes over by where the lady's like, it's over there. And she goes over by the hall where the bathroom was. And she sits there for a second and she's looking up. And then she goes, and she's looking around and she sees the camera. And I'm going, why is she writing down where all the cameras are? And then she goes in the bathroom and I'm going, we got to leave. I'm like, that lady was just checking all the things. She's in there radioing the robbers, like where the cameras are, and I'll think
She's loading up all her ammo.
Yeah, and I'm just going, this place is about to get robbed. You know?
I found the blind spot.
And but then she comes back out and like does something with the baby, and then like goes out to her car, and I'm going, because number one, she didn't do any banking. So number one, who stops at the bank with their baby to go use the bathroom? If you're out driving around and you're like, oh crap, my kid just needs changing. You go to Walmart or a McDonald's or something. You don't stop at a bank.
Did you
And
lay
then
eyes on that
secondly-
baby? Was it real?
I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Maybe it
You
was
know?
have you ever seen Speed where Sandra Bullock hits the baby stroller, but it's just full of cans?
Yeah.
Maybe that was the situation.
A little jump scare, yeah.
All right. Anyways, let's do this creator spotlight of the week, everybody. So this week I wanted to talk about Kraken Customs. He's got about 2,700 followers over there on Instagram. Let me grab his link.
Why does he just have pictures of his local city on this?
Yeah, and I really dig his logo.
Kraken Customs. Okay, so if you're
that's
not
cool,
following
yeah.
him, check him out on Instagram. His link is in the profile. These are not pictures of his town. These are dioramas this guy's building.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Awesome.
Yeah, that's a
But I
diorama.
swear I've been to Randy's bodega before.
Yeah, he probably stole the name from something, but it looks really cool. I was looking at quite a few of them, so I pulled these
Wow.
off. He made a blockbuster. He
Wow,
made
that's
the inside of a train. These sets look really awesome, and like this one on the
He
left.
even changed the Stein farts.
What?
He even spray painted an F over so it says Stein farts.
Right. I
It's
mean,
not-
I
I
think
wonder,
it's
at his
hilarious, right?
blockbuster video, does he,
But I
in the
mean-
windows, does he update those posters every 2 weeks?
Yeah,
I
right,
know he
right.
does.
That's it.
He said he made that blockbuster for somebody else. So on a site, he commissioned to do that. So he does have a
What a
YouTube
talent.
channel.
That's phenomenal.
This
You
is
remember
good.
those
This
drop-off
is really
boxes
good.
where you open it up and you
Oh,
drop
yeah.
your
Yeah, he dropped it in there.
Let me grab his
or your Super
YouTube.
Nintendo games that you rented.
And if the employee didn't clean it out for 3 days, then they would hit you with a late fee. You're like, well, I put it in there 3 days ago. What are you doing?
Do you think I still owe Blockbuster money if I still have like a couple of
Yes,
tapes I
yes,
never
they're
returned?
coming for you too.
Like
They
closed, like,
transferred.
what, 48
tran-
years ago.
They transferred all of your debt to that last Blockbuster in Oregon.
Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Is
So
that,
anyway,
is that still open after the even after they did the TV show on it?
And that TV show was made here.
yeah, it
Was it
should
made in
still be
Oregon?
open.
No,
Yeah.
it was made here.
Wow.
Or we have an Amazon studio here.
No, I think you're talking about two different things because they made a documentary about the last Blockbuster.
Yeah.
that was open.
Oh no, but they actually made.
They
a
actually had a
sitcom
show
called The
with
Last
with
Blockbuster.
the fresh off the boat guy who
Yeah.
kept his Blockbuster open. That's the one he's saying was made in Canada.
That's right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I thought that these dioramas looked really cool. His YouTube channel only has a few
Yeah,
shorts
great
on it
job.
right now, and he kind of shows like the making of them and stuff like that. But I thought it was really cool. That's why I thought I'd throw those up there. So go check them out. I mean, the dioramas look really cool.
Now
looked
I'm really
cool.
curious. So there's a squid in that one,
Where?
right there, a tentacle in the other one. And let's look for it. See the tentacle right there? The
Oh,
purple
right here. Yeah, the
tentacle?
purple
Yeah.
tentacle.
Yep. The Blockbuster has a tentacle made with the lights as they go back. Those are all circles from the tentacle going back into the
okay,
distance.
okay.
Okay.
And then is there a tentacle in the Randy's bodega one?
Right up here at the top. This is just a string of lights, though, I'm sure.
Yeah, it looks like a string of lights, but that could be.
Look, I love the miniature graffiti. Like that's badass.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, it
really
is.
cool. It's really cool.
Even the
And then-
weathering, like on the
yeah,
And the
yeah,
blinds,
yeah.
the
doors
blinds-
boarded up there.
the
That's
blinds on that one window are kind of crooked. Like
if
like
if you
that,
look
please.
at his Instagram, he's got multiple pictures of this specific diorama, and they're vertical blinds. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
those are
each
awesome.
Yeah,
one is,
yeah.
like, hanging separately. So really cool and really good work. I mean, I think it looks fantastic. Anyways,
Yeah,
I think,
very inspiring.
No, yeah, this is incredible work. This is
Huge,
really
huge
good.
talent. Huge talent.
So Kraken's Customs over on Instagram. His links are in the chat.
I'm in for a diorama making challenge.
Oh, we could do that, but we'd have to come up with some sort of like a craft type show, something like
A points for articulation.
yeah,
kind of name?
something. Oh, that's a good name for a live stream. It's all about crafting.
I
They
think someone
found
has it
another.
already.
They found another giant squid recently. There was they originally they found the thing that they're now calling the giant squid. Then they found the colossal. Then they found the colossal squid, and now recently someone in Japan in one of those subs way under the water that went way on down in the trench or whatever, they found something that had a claw. One of the claws that each suction cup has a claw in it. Do you know that they have little claws in those suction cup rings? They are like a teeth or something. One of those teeth they got from it were like 6 inches long. So they're saying that this thing could be like they could have tentacles that are like 140 feet long or whatever. They were like, this thing is massive. So they're calling it Krakonus gigantus or something like that. They said and I was like, are they laughing? Like, are they joking or what? But they said that it makes sense because they've seen tentacles inside sperm whales that are huge and scrapes and marks on sperm whales that couldn't have been made by the giant or the colossal squid. They're much bigger marks. So there's definitely something bigger down there. And,
and they found like the first white sharks that were like bitten in half.
Yeah,
What bit
like
in
what
half
bit?
the biggest man-eater in the world,
Yeah, so there's another giant
mother-in-law.
squid thing down there. Yeah,
family.
you could make a hell of a lot of soup from that squid. Yeah,
Calamari, big deep fried rings like this.
yeah.
I don't.
Okay,
need that.
Jonathan's asking what the scale is on the.
Let's say
And the thing is, I
scale.
couldn't really tell because I was looking around trying to find like some with action figure pictures in it.
Yeah.
So let's just take a look. This is the
Is that a foam core board?
yeah.
Foam
So
board?
this is the build of the subway thing. This is the chair, right, of the subway chair. So if I say
That's 12 inch by 12 inch by 12 inch. So
so it's probably big enough for a 6-inch figure because if I look back and look at say this one, he's using a 6-inch figure in this video here.
yeah. See, if you don't show any figures, you don't know how big it is. Like you don't know if it's steel or or
Wow.
Oh, that's cool.
That's show scale. Wow.
Yeah, and that is.
But did you see how he could switch that around and make it look different?
Yes.
Yeah.
Modular.
So I think
modular. That's
I
the
think
word.
it's really cool. So I'd have to really, I didn't really notice, but it looked like they were usable in the 6-inch scale.
Dino, come up with a hashtag for points for articulation custom diorama building challenge 2024. There you go. Hashtag. Easier to remember.
All right, let's see. Okay, so here we go. Ready? This week, these are the toys that are being peddled to us by major manufacturers, big and small.
There are small major manufacturers?
Yes, you will decide whether or not you will add these figures to your collection or pass on them, and we will either say how much we love them or how much we just don't care for them. No, I don't know. Will we say any of that stuff?
Sure.
Well, if you don't care, you just don't show them.
All right. All right. So
Like this
this
one.
is a prototype of Hiya Toys Contra Operation Galuga action figures. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, well, it's pretty much like any other action figure.
Yeah.
Is that the video game, Contra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
The
so
logo's
on
up
that
in the top
topic,
left.
There's been lots of these video game guys coming out. Street Fighters are really popular now, all that. Okay, what's your most wanted video game action figure toy that you'd want?
Oh, that's a good question.
This is cool. I got a couple of good ones off the top of my head.
Laura Croft.
Okay. Oh, Laura
that?
Croft.
Laura
Maybe.
Croft?
They
Yeah,
made
Tomb
quite a
Raider.
few action
A,
figures.
a nice looking one of a modern version of her. Yeah, that would look
Like a
good.
realistic kind of version.
I
Like
would want the
6-inch
ship
scale?
from. I would want the ship from Gradius. Give me
What's
the
that?
starship.
Oh,
a
that's
starship
pretty cool.
from. Give me a starship from Gradius or R Type in 3.75 inch scale, so I can put my
I have
Star
three
Wars
lines.
figures in them.
I have 3 lines that I would want. The first one, I would want a spy hunter with the vehicle.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think that would be really cool. The second one would be Dragon's Lair.
What would this car be? Like a silver Jaguar?
And the third one would be, of course, the other Laserdisc game, which was Space Ace.
Yeah, there you
Space
go.
Ace. Oh, that's like the Dragon's Lair one, right?
Yeah. And Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. I think they could do a whole line with those 2 games.
Yeah,
because
you could because
multiple
In the chat, put what you would want too. Like I would want my favorite video game all time. I want a Joust deluxe action.
oh
figure
yeah,
set.
Joust
that could be
the-
actually
Like a
on the
6-inch figure on an ostrich.
on the ostrich. Yeah.
So
That's by far
Jonathan-
would be my most wanted action figure from video game line.
Jonathan's
Our-
got Mortal Kombat, Invader
Medal of
Zim,
Honor.
Judge Dredd.
We got the bad guys from Medal of Honor. We could finally put them with our Indiana Jones figures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and the other game would be it's a game called Bad Dudes.
Bad.
Yep, I
Oh,
remember
okay.
Bad
Those are the
Dudes.
Kind
two
of like
guys.
a Street Fighter. They just go, "We're bad," and they do the Geek
Yep,
Strong pose.
yep.
So I want those guys just to do this.
Yeah, they did Dragon Age toys from the what was
yeah,
it called?
Joust.
The Golden Axe or whatever, wasn't it? Or whatever it was called, right?
Super 7 did the Golden Axe, was it?
Right? They
Yeah.
did those, right? And they even had
Yeah.
a little dragon,
Crazy.
a little
the
monster
crazy
that they could
beard,
ride
yeah.
on, right? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Does,
What else?
does
More
Geek
coming.
Strong say Mario? Oh, yeah, they did that, Dino. They've
Because
done
there's lots.
tons of
Mario
Mario.
My one toy aisle in my one toy store is half freaking
Video
Mario
games?
Kart toys and half.
Oh,
Yeah.
Frogger. Do they have Frogger?
Oh, you want a frog for Frogger?
Frogger.
You know what would be really
Hubert.
cool? If they did like a Donkey Kong or something, that would be super cool.
I guess they've done most of them, eh? There's but just like that when they do Joust, when like
They did
Jada
Zelda already. Zelda's
or
got some
Storm
figures.
Collectibles or one
Yeah,
of those
yeah.
companies comes out with a Joust, I'm all in.
Double Dragon.
They even
Yes,
had a cartoon.
yes, sir.
They had a Double Dragon cartoon back in the day.
Golden Axe.
Yeah, Golden
A
Axe.
few
yeah.
lines, wasn't there?
Mike Tyson's Punch Out.
Mike Tyson's Punch Out has a lot of good characters for that. Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
That would be really cool. And then you get all the other guys that he fights and stuff. But I
yeah,
think
yeah.
it would be cool if they did a Rock'em Sock'em robot thing with the Mike Tyson Punch Out,
There you go. Yeah,
where one of them is just Mike Tyson, and then the other one is an interchangeable piece.
It's
And
Vern
they could
and
sell them
Rick and-
separately.
They're all that same YouTube brother.
Yeah.
Why? What's up?
Jake Paul, Jared,
I played an awesome computer chess game called
Peter
Chess.
Chess action figures.
All right, let's see. The next one is the Super 7 Beastie Boys Sabotage Ultimates. $55 each.
So it's not a pack. It's sold
They
separately.
do have a 3-pack. I don't think you save any money, but you get some extra accessories when you pre-order the 3-pack.
Now, the thing is with this is it's kind of cool because, but not for $55. This guy's got what, like the bullhorn and stuff like that. So the accessories to me are like the coolest parts of these.
Mm.
Not, I mean, just because I know the scale's off of what I would want to collect. But I think Jonathan's
The
all
accessories
in
will all work with your
100% because of the Super 7 logo. I'm pretty
I'm all
sure.
in, man. I'm not gonna
Damn
pre-order
shill.
it.
Super 7 shill.
I'm gonna
These-
wait.
they-
Hopefully they
not
pop
for
up
me,
on Amazon. Where I
But
can
these are
pre-order
cool. I'm glad these are a thing because Beastie Boys are awesome. Sabotage is a cool track. So it's cool that this is a thing, but not for me. Oh, Andy's definitely going to be in for these.
Yeah,
Andy,
he's going to be getting them for sure.
I'm sure Andy's in for them. Yeah.
them. Come on, man. You can't.
I actually might end up with these, especially if
Some of the
they make
cooler
a car.
modern toys they've ever made. So when they teased this photo early in the morning,
400 bucks for
and
a
I
Super
saw
7
this, and
car.
I'm like, oh snap! They're making a
car.
1979 Caprice Classic for the reaction figures, right? Because that's
Right.
realistic.
Right.
And then like an hour later, they released this, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, you
They're cool. These are cool though because they're the ultimates, right? So they're like that 7-inch scale. They're fully articulate, or they can fully articulate or whatever. And then they come with like a boatload of accessories. Are there more accessories in the 3-pack, Rick? Than this,
Yeah, but they're
this
surprised.
individual?
They haven't said what they are.
Oh, okay. So
But I bet you if you went and watched the video, you could point out a couple things that they'll include. Like it even has a little siren that goes on the car. Like that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
it would be Jonathan.
Jonathan's like, yeah, subpar police car would be 500 quid.
No, but that's the thing with like why I'm getting so interested in wanting to get into 3D printing. Like 3D print your own 1979 Caprice Classic.
Yeah, it's not that
For
easy. You got to have
probably
a
$100 and materials and paints, and you're good, man. Like it's
if you could 3D design and then 3D print 100%. But for me, I have not successfully built one file. You know what I mean? So like I have to go look for somebody to build these like
that's
files.
the thing. There's a lot of people that do that though.
Yeah, but they charge a lot of money for their good files. You know what I mean? It's not cheap. Anyways, okay, Street Sharks. They're half shark, half man, fighting evil. It's the plan. I'm just reading the little catchphrase, right? For these fantastic street sharks.
I don't know, Vern. That sounded like it was from memory.
I pre-ordered the Hammerhead one because it's the year.
Of course you did. There you go.
I never had these as a kid. I do.
These
think
were
they're
90s
cool
toys, right? They were street.
Yeah.
Late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
So far, G-Force is hot on everything. The sabotage, the street sharks here. He is 100% in.
What these to be retro and to be appealable for them to remake these toys, it has to be a 30-year thing, right? So think of other toy lines from 30 years ago, like in this era. They'll be announced in the coming weeks from other toy
Silverhawks. Yeah.
A lot of pre-orders for all the sharks, man. A week ago, I was hearing a bunch of negatives, and now I'm seeing all these like, yeah, I ordered them all.
There's
I'm not getting any of them.
No, not for
three
me.
more
Not
coming
for
out
me.
too. So there is a wave 2.
They're $25 a piece.
But I do like the packaging. I think
Yeah,
that they killed it on that packaging.
Yeah.
Look at that thing. You know.
I mean, with the bars and everything, that
Yeah,
is a total
that is
throwback to
awesome.
me.
Although I am getting a shark figure, I think it was later this year, so more to come on that. But it's not these guys.
Okay, is
Did
it?
the
it's not
original?
Fortnite
Did the original have bars like that? You saying that the
Yeah,
box
I
is very
think the
similar?
original
cage.
came in a package with the cage. The
Yeah?
shark cage. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it was
Alright.
very bendy if I remember correctly.
And now, what were the dinosaur versions of these? They did
I
dinosaur versions too.
I don't know. Are they going to redo those?
They probably will.
Yeah. If these are successful, 100%.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the 3-0 Transformers vintage animation versions. You got
And they don't transform though. They're just
Optimus
figures, right?
Prime, Megatron, and Bumblebee. These are like the Reds then, where they don't
Yeah.
transform.
but they're
That's-
highly articulated instead of like Reds that are just a statue.
Right. So, I mean, just these poses, they look kind of cool to me. I
They
won't
do.
get them because if I want to transform, I wish they could make a transformer like this that transforms.
So transformed, yeah.
And then I would be 100% in. You know what I didn't put in here? I didn't put this like Target truck Optimus Prime in the slideshow.
Yeah, that's kind of a cool gimmick.
Yeah, it was a cool gimmick. But
We don't have those in Canada, so it's kind of a stupid gimmick.
I'm not.
But
no.
what are they looking at? Are these going to be typical 3-0 prices? 100 to 150?
It looks like they're going to be $179.
Oh, they're going
What?
up.
Yeah.
They're going up. Wow.
What scale are these?
Aren't they 12
Oh,
inch?
they're 12-inch. Yeah.
So there's two things
Okay.
you could do, Connor. There's two
enough.
things you can
Looks like
do.
a hot toy.
If you're John, if you're like John, you're like that lady who came into the bank with her baby stroller. Or
In John's story, he has this
you could
Megatron.
just make these Transformers and charge $179. Both of them are robbery.
There you go. There you
I
So-
go.
don't know, man. 'Cause
So, okay,
what-
they're 12 inch, so I didn't know they were that scale. But
how much would a hot toy Megatron cost? It'd cost you
Five.
$400.
It would cost like $300 or $400. Yeah, yeah.
So
No,
3-0
Jonathan
is the
got a
equivalent to hot
Megatron this
toys.
week, and I think Brian from Brian's Action Figures reviews got one
Yeah.
as well. Now they're not. I think they're probably a little bit bigger than 112 scale, but they're all die-cast. They're beautiful action figures.
yeah.
Jonathan, I can't remember the name of the company, but it's like the pinnacle perfect Megatron that doesn't transform. If you just wanted an action figure Megatron, that's the one to get. And I think they're doing a couple more in that line. So for me, that would be the one to watch. But then if these are that scale, that's for, I suppose, a different collector class. So that's fair enough. But big
Well, I
money
don't
for a
recognize the design on Megatron's chest. It looks like someone doodled on it.
The original gun, the very first Megatron, had those doodles on it. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah, they look cool. I don't know.
They got rid of it
$109
later on,
a
but
little
yeah.
bit much for me. Anyways, let's see. We got Vader's girl. She jumped in.
Hey, Kat.
Did we say hi to Gary's girls? Gilster has jumped in. Let's see.
Gilster.
Did I miss anybody else?
Okay, just say it again.
Mr. B.
Mr. B. Yeah, hi, Mr. B.
Sonny Sundries.
Hey, Sonny.
Let's
Good night, Sonny.
Yeah, Ricardo. All right, just trying to see if I miss anybody. Please let me know.
Mr. B still needs to look at his Instagram DM.
Okay.
He wanted a lightsaber, but I was like, I think he sent me for both of them, and I'm like, no, I only got two. One of them's for me. You can have the other one, but not both of them.
He said that he wanted both of them, John.
He's
I think
getting
Mr.
one.
B was just paying you the price of two for one.
Oh, he's just covering your cost for getting him one.
I could be wrong. That's
all right. Well, if that's the case, fine. But yeah, he's only getting one because I want one.
He will correct one of us right now, I'm sure.
This is the 3-0 Stranger Things 1/6 scale Jim Hopper season 1 version, available for $179.99. And I'm like, who wants the season 1 Stranger Things figures?
Why
People
not?
like hot toys and like
They
Stranger
cleared
Things.
them all the NECA ones or whatever, whoever's making those first ones.
Yeah, I would have thought that Stranger Things was aimed at a younger audience because I know my kids love it, or teenagers love it. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was great, but I don't want an action figure from it. Never mind.
Yeah, like my
1/12
granddaughter.
scale one.
My granddaughter was happy to get her Stranger Things figures when I got them for her. I got her like the 6-inch versions or whatever they were, and she really only wanted like 11 and like Mike and a couple of the other, the 4 main characters or whatever. And then she wasn't even interested in the Hopper that much, right? It was like, oh, okay, well, you can just hold on to that one.
Like it's beautifully done. The face
it looks great. I'm just
great accessories, but an odd one. Yeah, I don't know.
It just seems untimed because, I mean, when have you ever seen him in his police uniform again?
And how hard was it, you think, for that person to balance that doll in his hand while they took the picture of it?
No, he didn't just do a green screen and do a burn where he holds his hand.
Look,
I've got a dinosaur in my hand. What do you think of that?
Yeah, the way you actually stand them on a shelf and you put your hand in front of the shelf.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I'm balancing dinosaurs on my hand.
So those apples that uses are not real?
No. All right, anyways.
Hey, Gary, I loved your thumbnail this morning. That was awesome.
All right, so let's see. Of the hot toys out there, Jim Harper is not one to get me down the rabbit hole. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. It just seems odd. It's just oddly timed. It's not.
Yeah, it is.
There's not a lot of modern properties, like modern pop culture, which sounds weird to say, or TV and film that I want toys of. Like Mando, that kind of introduced me in this, modern Star Wars toys. Really, the Peacemaker's a cool character, but other than that, like, there's not a lot of modern properties that I cared that don't have that nostalgia kind of thing to me, right? Unless it's Rocky or A-Team or Star Wars.
If these had come out like right after that first season, I think they would have had a lot of movement on them, right? Especially if they had shown off 11 and Mike and Dusty and whatever, Dustin and whatever the other characters. But I mean, this is like, hey, let me make the Joey, who's the guy, Matt LeBlanc, Lost in Space action figure. from the movie with William Hurt. Right?
But
I mean, it's
People would actually want Lost in Space action.
yeah, but not the Matt LeBlanc Lost in Space action figure.
How you do it?
$200.
No,
Yeah.
but there is a place for some of this, because I think I often say that when I see things like why would someone want John Wick, or why would someone want
Well, John
know-
Wick's different because I mean,
no,
everybody
I don't
wants
think it's
a
any
guy
different. But-
in a suit with like a pistol running around who's undefeatable.
Or they just do like Stallone Cobra, or they just do, and I think there's a certain
Yeah,
like
'cause you want to have your
my
iconic-
collecting habit comes from, like, number one, I like to have a lot of vehicles, and I like to have figures that fit in vehicles, or I like to have Transformers that are figures that transform into vehicles. And I have to look at everything as a whole toy line and go, can that whole toy line build up to where there's hundreds of
Or
things?
couldn't you have
You know what I
like,
mean?
a section
So,
of
and then
your
I said
toy
there's a separate collector who goes, I don't want that. I just want Scarface. I just want
That's
Jim
what I'm-
Hopper. I just want, you know what I
but
mean?
that
They
would
don't
be
But
cool.
John,
Like a
can't you
Stallone
have
Cobra
place on
action
your-
figure would be cool on its own without
Yeah.
any other characters from that movie, because there really isn't any other.
Yeah, I think it's they're totally sellable
Kurt
because
Russell from
listen,
Big Trouble in
you
Little
like all
China,
those movies, right? You like the Kurt Russell character from Big Trouble in Little China. You love Stallone's whatever
Cobra,
whatever
yeah.
that. You Arnold Schwarzenegger, right?
Commando.
You could have
Like
a whole
NECA.
shelf of just those figures. I mean, I got
Yeah, exactly. That's what I
you know,
mean.
yeah.
There's a place for all those
Yeah, there
figures
is.
in some people's collections where
and that is
there's
your
just
line.
where there's that one guy from each of these iconic films.
But that's
Well,
your
like
line.
some of those-
you got a
for
new
some-
collecting
Bigfoot
habit.
and
We
Roddy
just
Piper figures.
For some of those
forced you into-
people,
I want to see your
but-
shelf next week.
but for some of those people, this figure could fit into that collection.
I want you
know
to
what I mean?
order
Mayor
the-
Tom West.
Yeah,
This
no,
is
that's
gonna
true
be-
because it is an old style cop uniform or
Yeah.
county uniform. So yeah, no, I think it's a stunning figure.
It looks good. Yeah.
I just thought that was sort of that market for toys from that show would be more kid orientated then. But look, these guys know what they're doing. If they're producing this figure, they know they've the market for it.
Yeah, is there Leave It
not
to Beaver
Don
action
West.
figures coming out?
It's seeing who I think Joey playing Don West, because when I watch that movie, I think, oh, Joey from Friends got a role in this Lost in Space movie. It could be in the same universe.
Yeah, it was Hopper the tree.
Get to the job. All right. Anyways, this
What?
is.
Wow.
Oh shoot! I didn't.
Is there a play set that comes with this that has all that on it? I'd buy the play set.
Yeah, this is from Boss Fight Studios.
No, that guy we talked about in the spotlight earlier, he can make you this playset.
This,
Okay.
yeah, this is Jane Porter,
point.
who is Miss Tarzan,
Yeah,
right? And then they already have the Tarzan figure, though, right?
sure.
So this is just expanding the line.
What's the price point on
I can't do it. I can't do
Yeah.
the Tarzan
Rick,
yell.
Rick, you
Can
drop
anyone do it? Can you do the Tarzan yell, Vern?
I don't know.
That's racist.
Hey, ow!
Tarzan's white.
No, Rick.
Or maybe he's not. Maybe he's not. Nick. He's been-
I didn't actually see this from Boss Fight. So Rick saw this and dropped the picture in the folder. Do you know how much this is, Rick?
No, I just saw that there was like 0 images in the folder, so I'm like, hey, these are new, and I popped these in. But I don't know. Boss Fight Studio, they are in retail stores in the U.S., so you guys would know the price of these before I would, because we don't. These are not sold in Canada. They're
Oh,
cool toys are banned
because
for
Canada doesn't believe in Tarzan. I see.
No, just Bigfoots.
There could be early images. It's just the joints look a bit janky on them, like her knee
They-
joints.
Are
look
these
at those. Look at the
4
Four
knees.
inch,
inch
Yeah,
or, 4
look at
inch
the
or
knees.
6 inch? 4 inch or 6 inch? Because this is
Well, I believe they're 6-inch scale.
okay.
They
so-
look 6. Yeah.
You notice in a lot of these photos we show on the show, the way these are posed to hide the pins and the elbows and knees, like, so really you kind of
little
can't see the pins in both the knees and the elbows because
Well, they definitely have
because
pins.
they
'cause I
pose
can
them
see
like,
them in
oh, let's
her.
hide them.
Yeah, you can see them in her.
I
Yeah.
can see them in her, so
Well,
they're
if-
pins.
So if these are the 6-inch, I'm gonna say that Red Sonja was like $50. So I'm guessing these are probably going to be around that same price point.
Sure.
Probably not
Maybe.
that high, unless it's a 2-pack. I don't know.
No, I mean like that. The Red Sonja is 50, so each one of these figures has got
I
to be
thought she was
somewhere around there.
Jane. I thought it was Jane Foster, not Jane Porter.
Jane
Jane
Foster
Foster's
is Lady Thor.
Oh, I see. Sorry. Okay.
All right,
No,
sure,
it's,
I
it's,
thought
it's,
they looked
it's,
cool.
the
Move
figure's
on.
The figure's done nice. I like
Let's
the
move on,
the
Mr.
outfit.
Marvel.
Just
All right, and here we go. We got the McFarlane Toys Multiverse Plastic Man, who doesn't get his own release. He is a Build-A-Figure, which
What?
you have to buy 4 other figures to get Plastic Man. So you
Yeah,
got
you don't have to buy 5 or 6 other figures.
no,
Yeah.
it's just these 4, right?
No, but
Three,
Marvel
okay.
Legends, you sometimes have to buy 5 and 6 figures to get the Build-A-Figure thing. Like,
Oh, you're
Yeah.
comparing
Minimum
them.
5.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So what is? Wait, what's that red? Wait, so he's got his red arm is stretching back,
yeah, he's got
and then
2
he's
extra
got
arms and an extra head.
another red arm stretching up.
Looks like he's going to have multiple.
Oh, it's
arms,
wrapped
multiple
around the
legs.
flag. It's wrapped
yeah.
around the flag. I see. It's going around the flag and then grabbing back onto his own arm.
It's a pretty cool wave. It's sold pretty well, I think, on Amazon. Like they're classic, you
Yeah.
know, JLA characters, right? Like,
It's a really cool idea, and Plastic Man is a really cool figure.
yeah,
to
he's
get.
cool looking for sure. But
Yeah,
those
this-
thin joints, man, are just, I don't know, man, they're just so gaudy.
But is he going to have like 2 arms, like 2 sets of arms and 2 sets of heads so that he can look normal?
Yeah, he's got regular arms and a regular head too.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
who
Oh,
wants
that's
to put
good.
them like
That's
normal?
Well,
They should have
Just
did
in
that with
case.
Mr. Fantastic. Well, I know they did.
I
with
know. Yeah.
one of the Marvel Legends had a long arm or something, but
Yeah.
All of
They
them
really
should.
should have done
hey,
some
what's up, Black?
extra parts for
Hey, Lex.
Mr. Fantastic.
All right. So that is the Plastic Man, and each of those figures are only $24.99 each. If you just wait 3 weeks, they'll be on clearance for $11.47 probably,
Yeah.
along with all the other multiverse figures. No, I don't know. These probably won't go on clearance. Are these even going to be available in store, or are these
Oh yeah, it's in their
online
main,
only?
it's their main line, and they're popular characters. I'm sure they'll be in every store.
All right. So I might
They'll
wait.
be,
I mean, the Batman looks cool.
Yeah,
well, the
yeah.
good thing about a lot of times with these Build-A-Figure, like I'm doing it right now. I'm going to be selling a bunch of the stuff that came with the Madness or whatever that Marvel Knights figure, the black one that was the what was this, the Madness thing, or I don't remember what the hell the thing's name was, but the Build-A-Figure parts sold for like $80.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
You
a
know,
price-
I
what a
made
price
back
What a price
3
gouger.
I made back 3 of the figures. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
So you
are-
could probably, this is the reverse situation. You could
You are
probably
total-
sell Batman, Green Lantern, whatever the hell that guy in the middle is, fake Superman with electricity power, and Aquaman. You could sell those figures,
for $10 a piece.
yeah, $15 a piece, and make some of your money back.
Yeah,
So
I
you're not
tried that.
totally
I tried
out.
that. I did that twice. I bought 2 Build-A-Figure Marvel Legend waves. Both were Hulks, of course. And
Yeah.
I think there are 5 figures each. One was like a Thor wave, and one
I
was
would like
another
to call foul on this
stupid wave.
conversation.
So they're all garbage figures that I don't want. I just wanted the Hulk arm or the Hulk head.
If
Yeah.
we had
And
a,
it took me like a year to sell those.
all right,
figures.
if we had a producer,
For
if we had a
$10 each.
producer, I'd be
I
having
already
him go
sold
into
the
the
part
record
of
the
Marvel
previous
Knights one.
recordings.
No, but the Build-A-Figure I kept. The
I got-
figures
oh,
that
I got
didn't
you,
come
I
with the
got you.
Build-A-Figure,
Ah, okay.
nobody
The other
wants.
way around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, if we had a producer, I'd have him go into the recordings right now and pull up the recording of Rick saying, nobody buys modern action figures and flips them. Nobody resells them. That's the wrongest thing in the world to do.
Well, we're not selling them for more than what they were. They're just
What are you talking about? You were like, I just made $80 off this.
yeah, but you know how much it cost me to get 6 of those figures to build that thing? It was like
Yeah.
$120, $150, wasn't it?
I'm just messing with you.
I'm just saying I made half the money back.
I do like to build something gimmick. Like I think more toys should do it. It's a good gimmick.
Yeah.
Use the word gimmick. It's a good way to get people to buy 2 or 3 figures at a time, if not the whole wave on a pre-order. Like, you know,
Oh, okay.
it's a cool
Melt them
idea. Like,
down.
why Star Wars doesn't do it? Like for like little display pieces, like build a Death Star wall or build 3 pieces of sand together. Like, it's not. It can't be a huge
Sand.
cost to make.
I'm
like
gonna get a
$1
playset
part.
that has 3 pieces of sand in it.
No, but you know what I mean. They make a nice build. Like the ghost, the Yoda ghost, and Obi-Wan ghost, and Anakin ghost with the wrong head. Like that would be great if it came with a little fake wooden, you know, railing and base. Like
I thought that was electric
Oh.
Spider-Man. That's the Superman that had the electrical powers, isn't it? That's who
Yeah.
I thought that was. It's
all
a
stuff
different guy. It's not Clark Kent. It's a different guy,
Todd
right?
McFarlane
Isn't it?
drew basically.
No, it was way back in the that was like years ago in the comics.
No, I know,
The
but all these
90s?
figures are influenced by Todd's art in many ways. Like they're inspired by the actual artist as well, but I mean, it's his choice.
Yeah.
I think he runs the DC toy industry on his own, kind of. Which
Yeah, he seems to have free reign to
doing okay. Yeah, he's like every
look
week,
whatever he wants.
there's another 4 or 5 figures coming out, or statues, or superpowers or something. And it's, I don't know, it's not my thing. Like I don't own any of these yet. I would love a perfect Batman and a perfect Superman and Green Lantern. All these characters right here. I want a perfect version of them, but he hasn't made it yet. Like my perfect version doesn't have, you know, big pinholes and.
My perfect version
Yeah.
comes in a 6-inch scale to match the rest of my collection.
Yeah, it was when it was this
6
thing
inch,
where
of course, yeah.
Superman had electricity powers.
Yeah.
And he traveled through phone lines. He had like the powers of Spider-Man's Electro, but it was Superman.
So maybe one day McFarlane
Go
brings out
SH.
yeah, maybe one day he does make a 6-inch line and call it, you know, the Hasbro's scale or something.
All right. Speaking
Just
of
a note.
Black and talking about Mythic Legions, my order that I placed on the very first week of their in-stock sale has still not shipped.
Really?
They ship faster than me.
So they really are going to wait the full 5 weeks before shipping that out.
No
Very
comment.
disappointed in this whole Mythic Legions thing. You'll never hear me talking about ordering another Mythic Legions in the future.
Are they banned from the show?
What? No,
Are we banned?
I'm just saying for me,
I'm just
I
waiting. till the
ordered-
first toy
I
is
ordered
banned
from
the
their
show.
in-stock sale the first day and still not one no shipping notice, nothing, not one thing tracking towards me.
So how long ago
been-
was that?
Well, the 24th of February or whatever it was. It's been like
Ooh.
4 weeks,
That's odd, isn't it? That's strange.
I guess.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, I'd be peeved as well. They have every right to ban them. Ban them from
I'm
the
going to be
stream.
like that guy on Instagram who was at his mailbox every day. Like, I ordered this thing. I don't know.
Well,
Yeah.
I did order 2 of these from Hasbro's in stock clearance sale. It took me 5 weeks to get it.
Yeah, but that's Hasbro. I mean, you got
Well,
to.
that's what I don't know what's different. That's
It wouldn't take me 5
I
weeks.
didn't
to
get it for
though.
5 weeks.
But the thing is, because it came from the States, if I ordered it, it would
Yeah, but it
be here in
came from,
5
like,
days.
I could have walked there and picked it up and
Yeah, like
5
that.
I could have walked.
Like
Well,
the last
State
time I
is not
ordered
far away.
But the last time I ordered in stock from Hasbro, I got it in like 4 days.
Yeah, but see, I got ordered in stock from Hasbro and I got it in 5
I'm
weeks.
just saying, like,
But it
Mythic
took them
Legions
2 weeks
had
to
stuff.
ship it.
They put on this big sale. It was like everything's in stock, and it's been like 4 weeks, and still not even a shipping notice.
Yeah, I'd say that's not good. I would contact them. Like
It's-
do
it's not-
know,
it
like,
doesn't make any difference because
much
because
like the Valaverse, because I'll compare them to because I think they're similar. And
the last
in
email I
scale,
sent.
they don't
Myth-
have like 35 people working at.
All
their
right, the last
store
time
or-
I emailed the Mythic Legions people, it took them a week to get back to me.
because it's 3 guys. Like it's
Well, they need to get on it.
4 weeks to ship an in-stock item now is a bit rich.
Yeah.
That's
All right, I don't want to complain or anything. I'm not here to complain.
no, I love complaining. Let's complain.
No,
All right. So anyway, these are.
I'm
the
already
FH
starting to lay
figure
down
art
on the
from
couch.
Bandai Dragon Ball GT Trunks.
what?
I don't know. Maybe I copied that wrong.
I didn't put these photos in the folder, by the way.
Yeah, these are SH figure arts. They're Bandai.
When did the Dragon Ball
Ball Z.
get a
If
tail?
you're anime, I guess this is what you'd be getting.
Well, this is
I
a
have
bit
no idea.
not
I've never
for me.
seen any.
So
of
nobody's
these.
interested. No. Okay.
No.
We'll just move on. All right. And these are the
Sean
Playmates
Polo.
Tells of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Mutations line, which
Wow.
will launch late summer 2024.
You can mix and match your figures.
Can you imagine
Crazy.
that? That is really cool, huh?
People
I
are
don't like
paying
that.
attention. People are paying attention what the Motu Origins are doing.
So these are kind of neat where they're like mix and match and you can like mash up your dudes. I'm not sure about those nunchucks up there though.
Where's the rat's body? I, just,
Yeah, the nunchucks
I only
look
see
like
turtle body.
they look like a nutcracker, not a nunchuck.
This is kind of like they should have called this the $6 million Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
We have the
It's
technology.
cool.
We
What's
can rebuild them.
I'm not a Ninja Turtle fan, but what's working really well with that toy line right now is it's hitting, that generation in the nuts, the nostalgia nuts, who like the 30-year ago Ninja Turtles. So they're buying them up, all the 30-year-olds. But kids also still like the Ninja Turtles because they make
Oh,
there's
I
still
don't know.
cartoons and there's a movie.
The neighbor
Kids,
kid
you
had
don't
no
know, it's a
interest.
fact. It is.
The
They're-
neighbor
They still
kid,
make toys for kids in this.
the neighbor kid had
Right.
zero interest in the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
He came
what-
over yesterday. He's 9 years old. He's 9 years old. He came over yesterday, knocked on the door that's here in the toy room. It's because it's on the side of the house. I opened the door and let Hank in, and he went, "Oh my gosh!" And he looked around because he'd never saw this toy room. He had no idea it existed. And then he looked at all the dinosaurs. He really loved all the Transformers. He went over there and was like, "Wow!" And he's like going through them all. And I was like, "Yeah, and look, I got all the Ninja Turtles up here." And he went and just kind of walked over to the Star Wars and was like, "Wow!" And then looking at the Marvel and stuff. He had zero interest in the Ninja Turtles or the Ghostbusters stuff,
He sounds like a cool kid.
which I thought he would have interest in. But
Right.
no, he likes the Marvel, Star Wars, and Transformers more than
Yeah,
anything.
the Ninja Turtles don't do very well in my mind because I've been seeing them. Yeah, like who's saying Nick Ross, here we come. Right, like
Hasbro and those
6
companies,
million Ross, here we
they
come.
don't care if these end up in Ross or Ollie's. They care
They
that
do care if
Target-
they end
they
up at
don't.
Ross.
Target and
They're in the
Walmart
business
bought
to make
8
money,
million
and when they
cases
end
of
up at
them.
Ross, they're not making money.
and Target and Walmart will buy 8 million more
They
cases. of
won't
next
buy
year.
them. They're going to stop buying them if nobody's
They
buying
have
them
to.
from
It's
them.
part of their contracts that they
No.
have to buy
No,
certain toys from these mega
these
companies,
Ninja Turtles
or they
don't.
have an empty toy aisle.
These Ninja Turtles don't end up in the
Is
regular.
it a
toy
case that
section.
there's market saturation with Ninja Turtles at the moment, though? Because
Yeah, Turtles.
so many different
sure is.
companies are churning them out.
Yeah.
Because what they do, because there's several companies now that make this line, right? Besides Super 7 and those more unique, boutique stores.
Well, this is Nickelodeon.
Like
There's
there's
also
4
Best
different
Action.
lines of Ninja Turtles in my Walmart right now. They're
Yeah,
not selling well, but they take up one half of the boys' toy aisle.
They do.
So that's
Well, that's really weird because I don't hardly ever see a Ninja Turtle on a shelf.
Oh, there's tons of
Unless I'm
them
at
here.
Ross.
There are tons of them here. The whole shelf is turtles. He's right.
So that's what matters, that Hasbro's and Mattels and Jazzwares is like that. Walmarts and Targets buy hundreds and hundreds of cases of these toys every year that they introduce.
I think that they inundated like the Ninja Turtles recently because they had that movie that came out. But who saw it? Nobody, right? I mean, it looks
I think
really
everyone
cool.
saw it.
I watched it when it was free on streaming.
I
Yeah.
haven't even seen it yet. I mean, I looked at it once. I thought like, oh, okay, maybe I'll catch that. But it's like not something that I ever went back to. And I'm like, when
No, it's a
honestly, I'm
different
at Ross.
generation than
The
us,
Turtles
man.
in Disguise
But
are in Ross now.
If Nickelodeon are doing these, is there not like a current run of a cartoon going on at the moment for them?
Yeah.
I think there's at least
for
one.
kids?
cartoon
Yeah,
going
well,
on.
you're right. They could be coming up with a cartoon that's gonna come out.
I think it
Yeah.
is. It's going to be called Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
That's what the Nickelodeon part means. That's
yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think that is good for a company to have all their stuff end up at a discount store. Regardless, it just means that the retailers who actually buy the products are just going to buy less in the future. And we can already see what's happening with like Hasbro. I mean, they're cutting their production down, like 40% or something like that. So there's going to be
The
fewer
toys
items
end up
hitting
in the
stores.
clearance stores because of today's economy. I hate to say it. People can't afford to buy multiple $2 and $3 $25 action figures, whether they're kids or adults. It's a lot of money to throw an extra $100 out there in your toy collecting habit, no matter what age you are at this day and age. That's just the state of, the union. That's just the way it is kind of now. So and
Well,
people
no kid is getting a $20.
when you hear everyone
action
talking about,
figure.
I'm waiting till it goes on sale before I buy it. That's been a big thing since the pandemic. Like during the pandemic, people spent money because the government gave some people free money to spend.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I
the
wait.
economy. But now that that's over, people have
No.
to spend their
Let me
hard-earned money, and it's a
Let me
little
tell you
tougher.
why. Let me tell you why I wait for a sale. I pre-ordered that GI Joe Breaker and Ram. Right, it did not ship. I walked into Target. They had them on the end cap for 50% off on sale, while mine pre-order still hadn't shipped. I bought those on the shelf, canceled my pre-order, and pretty much since then, I just wait for them to go on sale.
Exactly.
I'm not
Me too.
pre-ordering
Yeah,
hardly
but
anything anymore.
Know this too, that the physical stores you go into are completely different. Well, I'm going to call it company, but entity than their online website, whether it's Walmart or Target.com. They're completely different. They ship from different warehouses. Well, one doesn't ship, but I mean, like they're different things. So, like for me, like my Walmart, like if I see on Walmart.ca, oh, they got the new Boba Fett action figure. It's on sale for $5. If I go to my store and it's $35 and I show them, look, on your app, it's $5, they won't match it. They're not the same company as them. They have no, and I don't know if that's.
But the other side of it is if you were online and you said, I'm going to come pick it up and I buy it for the $5 and go do a store pickup, they'll take the one off the shelf and give it to you for $5.
If it's available, because all those companies, Walmart and Target now, Amazon use third-party sellers. So
because every day when I'm in there, I see some person, a guy or girl, whoever, walking around with a guy, girl, or Bigfoot, walking around with a blue cart. They have a special blue cart with blue bins in it, and they're checking an online order on their little device, and they're literally pulling it off the toy shelf to fill that online order. Some of the stores do pull right from the store.
Oh, if you have an option, like if it's in stock, of course. Like right now, there's a new vintage collection Stormtrooper and Darth Vader that many people pre-ordered, right, from Target or Walmart, but they're not in stock, pick up in store because they're pre-ordered, so you can't.
Yeah.
But some items, yes, they have some items on their website. Like you can probably still buy Power of the Force 2 Star Wars on Walmart's website because they still have some of that crap in their warehouse.
From a third party. I get what you're saying, Rick. Like you can't, not everybody can afford to like buy these like multiples of these $25 figures, but it comes down to, in my mind, sort of what Jonathan's saying here is like they've been putting out so many products. Like if you look at what's coming out, if they had slowed down that Indiana Jones line, it would still be a viable line. They should have came out with that wave 1, right? And maybe completed that wave 1 with the Build-A-Figure thing. And they should have spread it out instead of trying to crank out 15 Indiana Jones in the matter of 6 months, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So if they had given you the original Indy and then Marion and then the Raiders of the Lost Ark characters and had spread that out over 6-7 months, and then finally like 8-9 months later start announcing, hey, we're also going to start getting these additional Indy figures or whatever, and then they could start doing like the next movie or something, it would have lasted a few years instead of them trying to crank out all of the Indiana Jones figures in a matter of like months.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think so. The Indiana Jones was a unique case because what they did at the end of last year's third quarter,
Yeah.
a lot of stock that was due out in quarter four because
bumped it
sales were
early.
down, they rushed it out and they kind of saturated the market. But then if you look at Hasbro's business model over the last few years, they kind of operate like a timeshare. If you look at what's on average across all the lines, what your pre-orders are in any given month, it's averaging around $100 a month of stuff that's coming out to you. And that's, they know. So they know that we have X amount of adult collectors that are into this. And they know that if they keep doing these streams and pre-orders, they can have the majority of us on the hook for that $100 a month. And they're banking on that. And it's a sad state of affairs. And we said at the start of the stream, we were jokingly talking about the Imperial stream coming up next week, that, oh, they're going to announce another Vader and another Stormtrooper. But those type of figures pretty much should be on the shelf all the time.
All the time. Yeah.
There should always be, because a Vader and a Stormtrooper and a certain type of living.
I agree.
It shouldn't be this constant rotation, just trying to hook us in
like
for
the evergreen
for
toy.
Your basic Stormtrooper should be constantly in production.
Yeah.
It is, but they keep trying to update certain things, whether it's a figure of the package or an anniversary. There's always reasons. But one thing I want to say about the whole pre-order thing, that's kind of a new thing in the, in the past 10 years, as I guess a good number to say, where we're pre-ordering from, online stores or big box retailers, or even our own little, toy comic stores kind of thing. If it wasn't for all these new pre-orders that we see weekly now from all the different lines, Star Wars, G.I. Joe, Marvel, what have you, whatever the line is, we wouldn't get as many toys as we do as adult collectors. So I think we should be not appreciative or thankful, but I'm just saying we would probably have half the amount of variations and amount of toys if there wasn't these pre-order windows that we are used to nowadays. Like if they just put out a wave of vintage collection or Black Series figures every 6 months in the stores, who knows how well they would sell if nobody knows they're around unless they see a post on social media that, I just bought the last Boba Fett. What? They made a Boba Fett?
Hold on. In using your argument against you, if they did that model where they came out with a wave every 6 months and didn't have this huge pre-order, this, that, or the other, I almost say we wouldn't have half of the crappy figures that we get. We would have had a Lobot by now, because they're not putting out as much, so they have to make the ones that they're putting out count.
Oh yeah, for sure. And that's why Lobot gets mixed in a wave of like Ahsoka and Darth Vader and other figures that they know are.
But I mean, with the numbers that they're cranking out, it surprises me that we don't have a figure like that. That's what surprises me, is like the amount of mass that they're cranking out. They're not putting any value into the lines.
The Star Wars line is a different kettle of fish, and I'm not sure if that expression translates. But if you look at Marvel Legends, they can bang out all these obscure characters that from different comic lines, and they're just churning them out constantly. Same with G.I. Joe. They're not only are they're able to mix in now some of the sort of later characters into the wave, but they're redoing the Night Force versions of them, and they're getting the stuff out there. But Star Wars is odd. So Star Wars have the same budget as Marvel Legends, G.I. Joe to produce, but they're split between 3 different film franchises. So you've got prequel fans who are as passionate as original trilogy fans, and there's new media, so you're going to have new fans coming in looking for that. Yeah. And then those 3 kind of unique entities are split then between retro, vintage collection, and Black Series.
Yeah.
So I just think they're really kind of overstretched, and I get it. They're trying to reuse figures, reuse molds, and get and they do that with the vintage collection. You'll always get a new type of clone coming out with every wave in the vintage collection, just to mix in that. But for some reason, they're just, unless it's new media, they're really hesitant on bringing out any new molds, and that's why we're not getting we've waited so long for a Hammerhead. I know that's reuse eventually. We're
It'll-
waiting on Lobot. Some of us are waiting on a General Madine from Return of the Jedi. The Irish
Yeah, it
actor.
never happened.
We'll get him. We'll get him.
Yeah, one day you will. Who will get
Yeah.
them, right?
And
Well,
back
I
on
bought
the
'em.
comments when toys, make it to Ollie's or your Ross stores. Stuff. Before that, they tend to have like clearance sales, like Walmart and Target as an example. Like they want to put a certain amount of toys on sale, whatever product, food, groceries, women's underwear, whatever they put on sale. They need to put things on sale on a regular basis because that's partially what brings people into the store to begin with. Like, oh, steak and chicken are on sale this week. So while we're here, we'll pick up some aspirin and pillowcases or whatever we get. So
They get my dad with that.
because they have new products.
Mustard's on sale. I got to buy 16 mustards this week.
Yeah, no, but when it comes to the toys, like they know, okay, every 3 months or whatever, we're getting a new box of wrestling figures. So in 2.5 months, if we still have all these 4 pegs full of the same wrestling figures, we got no room to put these. We don't have a warehouse in every store. So we have to put some of these older toys on a sale or clearance so we got room to put these new figures up because they're not creating a
nobody's
new
buying
peg.
them, which means they're going to start ordering less.
No, but it's part of the retail business. Like
It's not, yeah,
I
but
know
it's not-
people that
it's
own
not
stores and they purposely put stuff on sale.
But why
just
is
so
it
they
that if
need
I
to put
walk
other
into my store today, which I did, Target, or there's 7 Lando Calrissian figures and they are not on clearance?
Because there's no plans on new figures to come in to replace those Landos. That's literally
No, but they'll
why.
clearance the other ones. That's the
Yes,
weird
that's what I'm
thing.
saying. Every single other one is on clearance.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, remember the people that work
And
there.
he's in a
are-
window box. So
they don't
remember, for like
know-
a year, they were doing plastic free
The
packaging.
people that work there aren't experts in the collecting industry too, so they
This guy
don't know.
came out before
this-
plastic free
This
packaging.
Lando came out in that wave that we're putting out. Like they just see a code number 3214. If it doesn't match, they go on to the next
Yeah.
thing.
Oh,
because-
it's so innocent. Yeah.
well, it's
Because it's
true.
the same with the TVC Lando. There's like 20 TVC Landos that have been sitting there for a year and a half now.
All right.
Like I
Speaking
buy
of Star Wars,
toys.
speaking of Star Wars, we got Captain Enoch and Thrawn's Night Trooper set.
You know what I
Four figures.
realized
Go ahead.
was, so you see how they have the one with the darker helmet, and then they have one with like the dark bottom, and he's got a white top, and then he's got the one with the full white helmet. I bet they were like, oh, these are 4 different troopers. Like that guy with the gold is the commando of the squad, and each squad looks like this. So someone at Hasbro thinks there's 20 Enochs.
No, they did this on purpose.
Yeah, because the guy who designed it thinks there's 20 Ewoks.
No,
Enoch.
because they can sell the
thinks he's a
same
trooper.
figure twice.
He
what it
thinks
means.
it's a trooper just like the other ones.
It's called
bet
the
you.
double dip. The double dip.
Yeah,
They had no clue that a stormtrooper got eaten by a rancor, so they have no clue that
Yeah, I get what
so
John's
they
saying.
equally have no clue that this guy was a solo one of
So-
a kind trooper.
So here's my theory, John.
I think Enoch is the USP of the box, though. Sorry, very into
That's okay.
He's one of the most wanted figures in both lines. So yeah.
All right. So my
They'll
theory,
reveal him next week on a card too, like they did
my
with the
my
battle
theory
droid.
is they know that most people are going to buy one set because it's way overpriced.
For sure. And I bet you they released one of those troopers in a slightly different paint variant, also on a single card back.
Yeah, they
Because it
will.
would be a badass looking card back.
I want to see what color
Yeah.
the credit collection Enoch's going to be. If he's going to have gold or some other color on him,
Silver.
probably.
How
that would
much
be-
is this set, by the way? Is it $80? $79.99?
Yeah.
54, I think.
I didn't see the price on it yet.
54 or
Yeah,
69.
I'm not interested because it's to me, vintage collection. I don't really collect them.
It's cool. I think it's some of the cooler vintage collection toys that came
Yeah.
from like one of the crappier Disney Plus shows.
Yeah, it's
so
a cool
Galen
set.
and Shin would be cool too, but
It's a cool set. I just need to get the Michael Jackson action figure to set up with these guys.
hell yeah. I got one.
All right. So, anyways, I wanted to show these off. These are from Ramen Toys.
T-Bob!
Yeah, they got the bot, and then they're working on the scientist over here. So these were on his Facebook page. I went over there and found them. I just wanted to show off some of the stuff that they're showing in their works. They also had this bridge builder piece thing that they are showing
Oh,
off.
the
they're
bridge
working on.
layer.
Oh
They're
wow!
doing a bridge
Yeah,
layer. Look at
yeah.
He's going
that.
to have this at Joe Fest, I believe.
Yeah, he was going
Wow.
to.
Painted and ready to show off.
So the tank is interesting because they said in this that they didn't really do it to scale for more than one reason, right? For space, collector space, for shipping, and for production costs to keep the cost down on it. So it'll
Yeah,
be like
so I've
a
seen
one-man tank, basically.
I've seen him describe it on a live stream last week where it's made for one figure to go in the little cockpit area.
Yeah.
Not like 3 or 4 like maybe a real tank might have, but
Right.
So I get it though. It's
Well,
it's
then
a
they
cool
should have
idea.
just
He's one of the first guys to make a cool army.
they should have just scaled
a
the tank to 3.75-inch figures. Then why? Because it's gonna look goofy with one 6-inch figure sitting inside that thing, poking his head out the turret, like huge.
If it's your, beside your the G.I. Joe helicopter and your HISS tank.
Yeah, really.
It'll
It'll look
pretty cool.
A tank
It'll
that's
look way
smaller
too
than a
small.
helicopter.
Yeah, it'll look way
The
too
HISS
small.
tank is not real. Like it's not a real thing to judge size by. So
Ramen Toys needs to drop everything he's doing right now,
Yeah.
cancel everything, and just work on the bread van and focus on
agree.
getting
I
that
agree.
van.
They
I
have
agree.
That's the one I want.
Don't
I
even
think
worry
he should
about
change the
shipping
name of
out
his
that
company.
ramen racer.
Just
Just
change the
get
name of
the
the
van.
company to Bread Van Toys.
Anyway, somebody was asking about my custom. Here it is. Eventually, when I finish this skirt, it will be a members wheel.
Oh,
Sweet.
Awesome.
Did you buy a 3D printed head?
I did, and then I did the painting.
And
on
you
it.
have a 3D printer, right?
I do.
So you instead of
Oh,
buying
okay.
a 3D file and
So
printing it yourself-
here's the thing is like the
I'm
same as
invested.
with that $6 million man. This thing right here. These are done with like a resin printer.
yes,
Which
that's what
I don't
want.
have a resin printer, so it comes out much cleaner. It feels more solid. Like for printing
Resin's where it's at, in my opinion.
So printing something like, well, let me find this what I printed. So printing something
Mr.
like
B
this,
knows.
which is like,
Yeah.
a drum. I printed these on my
Yeah, no,
printer.
that's awesome. That's why it's so. I think it's such a cool thing in our lives now that exists. That
Yeah.
we don't have to, even though we can make a diorama out of foam and paper core and plastic and hot glue and shampoo bottles. We can also 3D print stuff, man.
Yeah,
Like, it amazes me every time I see something new come out that someone's either designed or they printed a file that they bought from someone. I'm just blown away, man. Almost on a daily
But
basis.
is the technology growing fast enough that you can, like, the way guys will say, I did this print over 48 hours or whatever else. Is it the case that it's going to get faster and sort of
They are faster. These new
more
bamboo,
scalable?
bamboo branded printers are apparently some of the faster ones
Oh, cool.
made, and their quality like is better every year on even those filament printers. Like
All right.
it used to be 2 millimeters to 1 millimeter. Now it's
Speaking-
half millimeter and quarter millimeter. Like those layers are getting.
Oh, so they're scaling down.
small. Yeah.
And I ask because I'm completely away from the hobby, but
So
something be cool to get into.
But the
So
resin, like Vern's saying for those heads, those are almost like seamless. Like the
they're-
only
they're done really well. and-
parts that may look like not perfect on it are where the little sprues were when you're printing them. But
No,
whether you have to sand them up a little bit or
The
it's
thing that
it's a lot less prep work to paint than it
the
is
thing
those
about the thing
filament
about
ones.
these heads that don't make them look realistic is the person who paints them.
Good point, Vern. Like that's now the guy you bought those 3D prints from. Does he offer painting them?
No.
Okay.
So Rick was talking about like foam boards and stuff like that, and you can 3D print stuff. I really do believe though that finding like materials and building like stuff to look like it does in a smaller scale, like I did with this like side of a building and stuff, is really cool.
Yeah.
Now,
That's
one of the
stuff I
things that I
love.
wanted to like, since you're talking about it, I was looking at is I've seen these little
That's
shipping-
what Hasbro uses now.
yeah, this comes in your package when you get something in the mail. And the cool thing about it is it's just paper, but I just imagine that if you just put 4 sticks in the ground and stick this over the top, and you
It's
spread
the- it's-
the eye goes under
yeah,
it.
it's
like-
exactly that tent
Yeah.
they use in the desert. Absolutely.
Instant,
Yeah.
instant camo,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
So I mean, if
I'm
you're
keeping the one I got then because I got them with my my retros.
Yeah.
Cheers, Gary.
all right, Gary, have a nice dinner. But yeah, I think that's pretty cool. So that was that. What else? Oh, somebody was telling me that the flock, they sell a shorter flock that actually looks better on that 6-inch figure. But
No, those
Really?
turned out really good, Vern.
Yeah, I think it was okay.
and you know, I'm going to keep it on this 60th anniversary guy.
Yeah, it looks cool. Like, leave that. Yeah.
I want to see someone do a 3 3/4 flock GI Joe now or Action Man, just
Well, what I
because you can. Like, just it's so cool.
Yeah, what I was saying was,
Or a Chewbacca, or a Bigfoot, or an Ewok.
See,
Flock
I-
them
I-
all.
a flocked Bigfoot. Yeah, the whole body is flocked. Yeah.
I said flock, Vern.
Yeah.
I have a Wicket.
Oh, not I
Flocked
gave
the
you
whole
that.
thing. Yeah. No, I really think that I mean, if I were a company like Mattel, Hasbro, McFarlane, like any of these guys, and I
Lefko's
saw
Project.
this trend in the market where people are not spending as much, like they're not paying the $25, $30 for these 6-inch figures, and they're going to Ross and they're buying them for even $10. You know, I know a lot of them are $4.99, $5.99. I've been finding Black Series $4.99 at my Ross, but even at $10, I'd buy some of them. You know what I mean? But if I were a company and I saw my product doing that, I saw my products going, okay, no one, like hardly anyone is buying them at the $25 mark. They're going to these discount stores. Parents are saying there's no way I'm going to pay for these for kids. And I'm a toy company, first and foremost, whether or not I know and I like my adult collectors, first and foremost, I am a toy company. Toys are generally for kids. So if I'm not hitting any of the kids, and half my adult collectors are waiting for them to go to Ross, I would look at it from a business standpoint of 6-inch figures have to die. They cannot be a viable thing for the future. So I would plan a time for, all right, what we have to do is these are the figures we need to get out. Like if I were in charge of Star Wars, I'd be like, we need to finish the 96 in the Black Series size. We need to get out these couple of other things. We can use some of these figures that already exist, their molds for repaints and restructuring to try and finish the line. And any other requests that people have where they're like, I absolutely want these to finish my collection. And then we're going to do that over the next 3 or 4 years. And then we're going to scale back and slowly diminish and get out a 6-inch and go to a more affordable scale. And I don't care if that scale is 5-inch if they decide, or if it's back to 3 3/4, but it's got to be something that comes back down to like the $14.99 price point or $12.99 or something like that, because then you're getting back to a price point that kids are going to buy, parents are okay spending, and the adult collectors are going to be able to get them all. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And-
I do think that the
A
6-inch
6-inch
scale
figure
is
shouldn't
more
be
directed
20
to adults, though. Sorry, Connor.
No, I'm sorry, Rick. A 6-inch figure is not worth $25.
But they'll tell you they can't afford to do it for less.
Yeah.
So
like,
if that's truly the case, if I truly owned the company and said I absolutely cannot make a 6-inch figure without charging $25, then that means I have to look at other scales.
Well,
You know what I mean?
Or they could be doing it right, getting it right with 6-inch, which they're not. And what you described there about they have all these sale tactics employees where we're not going to give you the full line. We're going to keep you invested for years and years and years and trickle in
They're
the
not in a
characters you
hurry
want.
to finish the 96, John.
Like they should have, they should be getting those characters out to us now and have confidence that they're going to develop other products in the future to keep us hooked in. And they don't.
Good
There's
point.
no confidence in their own line, which is
No, that's a very good point.
shocking. And that's the most frustrating thing. Like even the G.I. Joe line, like any other company that has a product that's doing well, immediately switch into a value add avenue on that. And they should be doing little accessory packs, little add-on packs like we got with G.I. Joe, you know, a little
Yeah.
tent,
We
and
used
a
to
couple
get
of
those for
sandbags
the
and
show.
stuff like that. Like, I mean, there's massive potential that they just don't go after. They seem to be hooked in to these market employees and sales tactics, and
But what I'm saying is, it's not just because I go to Ross and I see Mattel's wrestling figures on there. I see McFarlane's DC figures at Ross. I see that best, what is it, BST AXN best action figure, whatever that is. They're at Ross. The Japanese anime ones that are in those weird boxes are now at Ross. So it's not just Hasbro. I'm saying if I owned any company like McFarlane, Mattel, Hasbro, like any of these companies, because I'm seeing all of them at Ross. So even if I was Mattel, let's throw it out. Let's throw Hasbro aside. Even if I was Mattel, I'd be like, my 6-inch figures aren't selling at the full price. I'm not selling all the wrestling figures. They sell when Target puts them at $12.99. They sell when they go to Ross. So I would look at my wrestling line and go, if I'm Mattel, I can't afford to do these wrestling figures at $25 anymore. I either have to figure out a way to make 6-inch figures that are, $9.99, $10.99, $12.99, or I've got to change the scale to get the price down.
So here's my thought on like what you're saying, and I think that like them saying they can't do the figures for like $20 or whatever because they can't afford it. That's what they're saying. But I think what happened was when people were there were a lot more people getting into the market and stuff like that, and they were buying toys, and they saw this like economic boom. They hired a bunch of people and they started paying their people more. So yeah, they can't afford it because now they started paying their people more, and they're not just going to pull back their salaries or whatever. That's why they ended up letting people go. So built into the price of that figure are all the people that they have to pay and all those extra salaries. Now they laid off a whole bunch of people, but I guarantee you those guys at the top still want to make their salaries, right? Even the CEOs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They could lower those prices if some of those salaries were to like come down a little bit, but then they're like, no, this is what I should be earning now because that's what I make. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but have you ever heard of anyone getting a reduction in wage or salary? Like,
I don't know. I've never heard of that.
Say you work somewhere for 30 years and like, instead of you getting a bonus this year, Vern, you're getting a minus bonus.
Yeah, you know what I mean? But like,
when you are like, so that doesn't happen.
Well, the only time that's ever happened is when they volunteered to do it.
Sure, I know what you mean, so that doesn't happen.
So like you can voluntarily
really doesn't come
look. We're
down.
going to lay you off and hire somebody cheaper, or you're going to take a cut.
Sure,
because they're not meeting those profit margins anymore. But the thing is, I really think that like they try to bump up these prices. And do you remember this movie called Mr. Mom? And the lady did the commercial for the schooner tuna. And they were like, during these economic times, we're going to like lower our prices by a quarter or something like that. And after this recession's over, we're going to go back to our regular prices and stuff like that. I honestly think at this point, they should be pulling back those price points, recognizing that there's an issue. And I think that would go a long for people to say, oh, here's a company that
that's the other way to fix
people
it.
In the hobby.
That's the other way to fix it. Exactly. Yeah.
I just to go back to what John was saying with regards to stuff hitting Ross and Ollie's. So if you take Walmart and Target out of the equation, where do people get their stuff, or where did people originally get their stuff?
Well, it used to be Toys R Us and KB Toys and Child World, but those are gone. So there is no toy store now.
But that's shocking, isn't it? And I think so Hasbro and Mattel aren't selling to Ross. These are toy distributors.
Well, they
stock in there.
It does happen. These toy companies can sell to these direct stores. It's not.
But they don't hold on to stock.
It's not a big part of their business, though. Like it's like last ditch effort.
We saw it over here in the UK, where basically when Hasbro turned around and said, right, we're giving Hasbro Pulse exclusivity on a lot of these lines, the distributors went solid and they dumped all the stuff into stores in the UK, and it was sold off at a $10 a figure, a $5 a figure. But that scares me. That means that, again, with only a couple avenues to get the product to us here as customers through retail.
Yeah, and like
that
we like
if
here,
they're
like
not
in
they're
Canada,
not looking to expand their retail
Right.
like we do have
footfall or
Toys R Us
footprint,
still.
it's scary.
We do have Toys R Us here still, like for at least a little while. Like my local stores have closed, so they're now closed and they're not opening up new ones. They didn't relocate to somewhere else. Other stores across Canada, other Toys R Us stores are now part.
Oh, they have another store inside that sells music.
They're not. Yes, they sell it. They're HMV stores now.
I never
So
heard
they're
that.
Toys
before.
R Us / record stores because they're not making, and they charge 20% more than Walmart or Amazon. Like for whatever reason, they're not suggested retail. They are marked up higher than suggested retail. So I haven't bought anything from Toys R Us in years because they do cost so much more, like double than what you guys pay in the States, like $40 and up for like classifieds and Black Series. It's stupid. It's ridiculous how much they cost. But yes, we don't have a lot of those discount stores. We do have some of them. And like I said, I bought stuff from them sometimes because once a year they'll get a couple of pallets per store or whatever. Sometimes it's from Amazon, sometimes it's from Walmart. But there's third-party companies that buy all these pallets from Walmarts and Targets, etc. And then they turn around and they sell them to Ross and Ollie's. And so there's a lot of businesses in between that get a little piece from this, right? So if those figures are $3.99 and $4.99 at Ross, that means a company that bought them probably paid $1 for or $2 for them at the most, or it's not worth it putting them in their store for a $2 profit, right? So yeah, it's tough, but as long as we keep pre-ordering, the majority of their like if they're making 10,000 Boba Fett figures, we pre-order 5,000 of them. There's no problem with them selling 5,000 more to Walmart and Target. So their criteria is met. It may even be more. I don't know the numbers, right? I'm just kind of saying we're probably 30% of the how many they make when it comes to pre-orders. Like they're already in production. Like they're not. It's not a crowdfunded like Toys R Us or not Toys R Us. Hasbro is not crowdfunding us when we pre-order those Stormtroopers. They are already being made. But when they make a Hasbro Pulse exclusive Jeep or a HasLab, those are more crowdfunded and they are 100% dependent on people pre-ordering and backing it. So they know we're going to make 10,000 of these or 20,000. That's enough. We're making profit off this.
All right.
But we don't know that it's not public what the numbers are that they sell on pre-order day, like on Hasbro Pulse or Target or Walmart Convention Con or Amazon the day they release these things. But if you want to do a little bit of research, you could, like I could look at my Amazon and tell you, yes, 64 people bought that 4-pack from me, but I don't have millions of followers. How many people bought that 4-pack off Yak Face's links or, State of Verse's links or Vern's links?
No, I think it.
If you were to add all those up and see, wow, they did pre-sell 10,000 of those just on Amazon, then like there's a lot being made.
I think that looking at that type of information is kind of skewed because the people who are following you are interested in that. If you had had the kind of following that was like more generalized, then I would say looking and you put links for like all types of products,
sure,
or all brands and lines and stuff like that. I think you would have a better view, right? Because you may have more Marvel or Star Wars people following you than I do. So sure. If I put a Marvel link, it may do way better than your Marvel links, but your Star Wars links are going to do way better than mine. So I think that is a skewed.
Yeah. But those other guys that we follow and stuff like State of Verse and those other guys on Twitter.
He's pretty generic. Yeah, he's pretty generic.
Yeah, and they have 20, 30,000 followers. So they make a lot more income off these affiliate.
Yeah.
Even if it's with Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store, they could give you numbers too that would, people might get blown away at some of these pre-orders. It's a big part of the business now.
So that information was brought to you by Left Coast Theories. with squares around his head. Anyways, what do you guys got coming up this week, Connor? You got anything you got planned?
So I did a video there this week where, and I should have done it a couple of weeks ago. I got fed up waiting for stuff to come out from Hasbro Pulse EU. We're running roughly about 4 months behind the rest of the world. I think the UK are delayed as well and behind with us. So I just did an experiment where I was waiting on 4 figures on pre-order from Pulse EU. I ordered them from Big Bad Toy Store. Just wanted to see when the shipping and taxes and everything was calculated, then when it hit here, the customs, what the difference would be. And as it turned out, it was only €16 or about $12 in the difference, more expensive for me to order. So I was like, okay, well, I can do it. Maybe this is an avenue to go in future. But the more you buy, the less you pay because your shipping costs are effectively reduced. So I was like, so if Big Bad Toy Store get a wave of 6, I might do that with another wave rather than wait 4 months for them to come out.
Like order from the States.
Yeah, just because of the wait time. So I'm off. So the figures here are. I did a post there actually on Instagram or Twitter there where the vamp is actually costing us guys at $36 more for no reason at all other than geography. So it's kind of a cost benefit exercise where I can get the stuff earlier, but the extra price is minimal. So anyway, that's what I done a video. Now I have the 4 figures. Do I do a video? Is anyone going to watch them? Is anyone interested?
I think you should.
So, I've Shockwave arriving next week. This is another product. He was released from Hasbro Pulse EU. I got an email last Friday to say, "Hey, your figure's on the way." And here I am, a week later, still hasn't arrived. Yeah,
the blue camo. Yeah.
I recommend that you go ahead and do it. That will be part of like your archive, anyways. And
I always try to figure show. I'm not a reviewer. I never actually say reviews.
I call it a spotlight. Yeah,
I literally want to say, look, this is the figure, and kind of this is what I think about it, and that's it. I'm not a figure reviewer.
Are your delays coming from the Hasbro Pulse UK team? Is that
so? No, so Hasbro Pulse UK is just UK, but then they opened up Hasbro Pulse EU, which incorporated ourselves, Germany, Spain, Portugal, a couple of the EU countries, and they're just so far behind.
So something I've kind of learned on the Hasbro side of things is like Hasbro will make pre-order items available the same time as Amazon and Entertainment Earth and whoever else sells their stuff, right? But their kind of general rule is they're not going to ship you the stuff before their partners, like the people who buy the shit from them, ship stuff to you. Do you know what I mean? Like, otherwise, they don't need Target and Walmart and Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth at all if they sell all their stuff just on Hasbro Pulse. So that's why if it takes 4 weeks longer, it's on purpose. It's like,
okay,
yes,
that's a negative.
And that's the same with Valverse.
All right, Rick. What do you have coming up?
It is true. And I'm not making this up. It's not a rumor. They do have these agreements with these big buyers that they're not really supposed to be.
Well, that's why they
created their table for cheaper and faster than.
Yeah, we're talking about a line that was taken away from retail in the UK and Ireland.
Yes, so now you have no other option, right?
Yeah.
All right.
It's almost the same in Canada. GI Joes, they don't sell them in Walmart here.
That's true, actually, because I follow James Ratface 44. By the way, great YouTube channel. He's a really good reviewer, a great guy, and he was saying something similar to me there. That Canada, he's nearly dependent on US, but he's getting hit then with shipping and customs.
Our GameStop's been our smiling toy store for the past couple of years, and they're small. They're really small. Like they're like the smallest store you can possibly get in a retail mall. Like smaller than my apartment. Like 400.
Well, I doubt that.
No, they really are. So, and
Rick, what do you got coming up this week?
Video games.
You're gonna play video games.
You did video games this week, Rick.
What do you got?
I got this in the mail a couple weeks ago. Just haven't seen you guys in a while. $39. Like
nice.
I don't even know how that's possible.
So you're gonna
one of the more popular items went on sale.
A series of shorts.
And I got this for cheaper than This is
Right.
retail $80 in Canada, and I finally got it.
So you're gonna
Nice.
do some videos on those?
I'm gonna own them and collect them.
Okay. All
Yes, I will be doing a video on the
right.
retros, and if
John?
we get 3 more likes, I'll do it today.
All right, John. What are you working on this week?
I'm working on my Steel Warriors, Steel Masters, whatever the hell they're called.
All
Oh,
right.
that's
and-
cool.
These are
looking.
badass. I would buy these.
And-
at 62.
They're made of metal, man. These things are like, it's Tonka. So it's that Tonka Earth Mover, the metal one, the yellow one, but they've repurposed it into like a Mad Max like vehicle, you know,
Brilliant
with
toys. I love them.
guns on it and everything.
That's pretty
And
cool.
6 or 7 of the action figures. And so I'm working on that video. And it was something that Dino and I were talking about because he found one of the figures at something, I don't know if it was a store or a show. I don't remember exactly where he was, but he found one of he goes, "What's this figure?" And I was like, "Oh, that's Steel Monsters. That's the
Metal
what-
face.
by Tonka." Yeah, it was Metal Face. Yeah.
He's the best.
And then and he was like, "Wow, I never heard of these before." And I was looking up the action figures because I thought that it was just a line of action figures because I had a couple that have been standing in my cantina for like 30 years. You know, I've just had them
There's
forever.
like 6 or 8 vehicles. It was a full line.
And yeah, and then when we were looking to more detail on them, I saw all these vehicles, and I just happened within a few weeks, I happened to find one of these, and I knew that I was like, well, now I know what this is, so I bought it. You know what I mean? Because most time when you're out and about and you saw something like that, you'd be like, what the hell was that? You know?
They're top of my list. I do want to collect them all when it comes to
All
Steel
right.
Monsters. They're pretty cool.
Yeah, they're really
They-
cool.
They
Yeah.
look
So that
good. They
video
do
will
look
be
good.
out this week.
Yeah, hopefully Monday morning. I'm hoping
Okay.
I'll finish them
Core
tomorrow.
scale, Dono.
And then
They are 5 POA. It's just
Yeah.
like Star Wars. Yeah.
Then don't forget to tune in. Dino's going to be having an interview with some Star Wars guy, and John's going to be on there with
Yep.
Dandy. That's going to be on Monday also at what?
7 p.m. Eastern, so that's what 4 for you,
Yep.
Pacific,
Yeah.
and
4.
then 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait,
11,
it's only
minus
4
10
hours,
or
so
so
it'd be
11.
11 for GMT. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah,
So
And then,
sorry, you guys got to stay up late to watch it, not go to bed on Monday night.
yeah. You hear that, everyone? we're all going to work late on Tuesday.
All right. All right. Well,
It's on
thanks for-
Dino's channel, Geek Strong channel.
All right. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us this week on the Toy Duo team, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Cheers.
everybody.
Stay awesome.
Bye bye.
Toys, 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 toys,
Manly
toys, 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 toys.